What a 24 hours. An amazing 24 hours it's been in Eagle Land and really around the National Football League. June 1st is now a new deal. This is now a new day in the NFL calendar. You know, you have the Super Bowl, you have free agency, the combines, the NFL draft. Now you have June 1st. June 1st had more movement on it with gigantic players. More so than I've seen in recent memory. I mean, incredible. Garrett going to the Rams. By the way, real quick, the Los Angeles Rams owner is the best owner in American sports, and it's not close. Name me a better owner than Stan Kroenke. Name me a better owner than the owner of the Rams. And listen, see, Khalid says, okay, he says, Robert Kraft, name me a better owner in sports than Stan Kroenke, the Chiefs owner, the Dodgers owner. Okay, well, let's put this in context. In the last 5 years, Stan Kroenke has won a Super Bowl, a Stanley Cup Finals, an NBA championship, and he just won one with the Premier League with Arsenal. He's got 4 world titles in 4 different sports. You name me a better sports owner than that. 4 different sports. Kroenke doesn't give a shit about the future. He cares about right now. Here's another nugget for you, too. Okay? Here's another nugget. In the last 11 years, the Los Angeles Rams have had 3 first-round picks. They don't give a shit about those first-round picks. They don't give a shit about them. They don't care. They want to win today. Not tomorrow. Not 3 years from now. Not 2028 with a future first rounder. They don't give a crap about that. They care now. That's why that organization is the best sports organization in all of American sports. 4 different championships in 4 different sports. There's nobody in the world you could put that title on but Stan Kroenke. Premier League champion, Super Bowl champion, NBA champion, and NHL champion. All 4 major sports, and you're talking about the Premier League. That's incredible. A.J. Brown left town over some chick. What a clown. We're going to get to all this. It's been an amazing 24 hours. And by the way, as predicted and as said here on this program, you guys would start your bullshit about tar and feathering A.J. Brown out the door and start with all your bullshit about how bad he is, a descending player. Even though the quarterback blows at throwing the ball, it's all the question marks on his knee. He drops all this and that, which is not true. You knew the guy once and all of a sudden now, guess what? Now the book on the sideline's a big deal, right? Now the book on the sidelines is a big deal. When I brought it up, you guys said it was no starter. Oh, okay. Now it is. Now you guys, now we're sitting here going like this. Now it's a big deal. Hit the like button. Super chats go to the top. We thank you very much. Come on, man. Now the book matters? Of course it does. Because he left you high and dry for one reason. He didn't want to be with the quarterback anymore. He doesn't want to play with the quarterback. So let's get to the story. By the way, Howard Eskin will join us. That will be at 4:30. Big Z will be with us at 3:30. Okay. So let's get to the story. So I get a text message this morning from Craig Carton. Craig Carton goes, you see this story going around? I go, this has been going around for a while now. That supposedly A.J. Brown was banging a chick, and it was Hassan Reddick's side piece. And supposedly they went to Jalen Hurts and asked Jalen to get involved in this. And Jalen said, I'm all about football and I don't want to be involved in this mess. And that twisted A.J. Brown reportedly. And this is one of the reasons why their friendship has gone south. Let me get this correct. A.J. left a team over a woman. I think that's part of it. I don't believe that's the reason. He left because he didn't want the quarterback throwing him the ball anymore. Bro, you wasn't the only one calling AJ out. Hey, and by the way, I was calling him AJ Owens 3 years ago. Now all of a sudden it matters? Oh, okay. Sure, now it matters. Because he's no longer an Eagle. Okay, dude, I told you the player was great, but the guy was an asshole in how he saw certain things. And by the way, so he went on and did he did an interview with Marie, what's her name? From NBC. And with Marie Taylor. I don't understand why my relationship with Jalen Hurts is like everyone else's business. I'm paraphrasing. AJ, you made it that way. Don't ask rhetorical questions or answer it rhetorically. You put it out there. You put all these stupid tweets out. You did all this bullshit with all those pseudo things and messages that you put out. You created the narrative. A.J. Brown created that. He's the one that created that narrative. Super Bowl window closed, rebuild, calm down. I'll be okay, Sills. Don't cry. Remember, you and Angelo in 24, 5 wins. Hey, bro, nice way to sit there and you want to talk about cherry picking. What about the other 4 years? I fucking banged on everything right. Go sit down and take an easy one and just sit back and listen. You'll be all right on it. AJ's a good player with a soft-ass personality. Okay, and my respect for Jalen grew. He is so locked in. Yeah, he's so locked in, you lost A.J. Brown. Instead of dealing with it. We'll get to it in a minute. Yeah, you're so locked in, you got a lesser player now sitting there at wide receiver 2. Okay. You're lesser at wide receiver 2 than you were last year in the last 4 years. Yes. You're lesser of a player. Okay. So I heard the same thing. And listen, we're going to get to it here. Is that the main reason that A.J. Brown's in New England? No, it's not. But it's an add-on. Deshaun Jackson has now officially come out and said this thing was 60% football and 40% off the field. I happen to subscribe to that. I think so. I think the personal relationships, and he even said it. Just listen to the front end of the answer that Marie Taylor asked him. The relationship is not where it was before. It's not in a good place. Now it's like, hey, I wish him nothing but the best. Good luck to him. I love the guy. Have a great one. But he said it at the front end of that answer. The relationship's not in a good place. Okay. End of story. Divorces happen. Pat's first rounder and Nolan for Max Crosby. Yes. Stop with this shit. That's not happening. And Max Crosby is not a first rounder. Guy with a degenerated knee. You just supposedly got rid of one guy. Pat's first rounder and Nolan. Yeah, we got that. No. Facts, your narrative on Hurts was wrong all along. Look at you. All in shambles over it. Eagles are better without that tanking diva. Fear the birds. I won't even respond to it because it's so dumb. Let's see here. So here, the Philadelphia Eagles are not a better football team without A.J. Brown. Only assholes like Reyes think that. And they want to think that. Because you know why? And now you have more respect for Jalen Hurts. Who gives a shit about that? You got to talk about winning football games with lesser players surrounding you now. All that other stuff is noise. What are you going to battle with? You think you're a better football team. Of course you do, because you're fans. And you want to believe that. Because it's your way of rooting for your team. And I understand this. At the end of the day, there's no way you're a better football team. End of story. And it's not a fucking debate. This is not a debate. There is none. You are a lesser of a football team. End of story. Debate all you want. Oh, he's got a slow knee. He's a bad seed in the locker room. He's this. He's that. Yeah, I know. I told you you'd all do this. And now you're doing it. Okay? And here's what it's based on. That's your lesser of a team. So let me get this right. You really think that your number 2 wide receiver is going to be a 1,000-yard receiver? You're fucking high. AJ has 2 years of great ball left in him, max. And Hurts has 1 year left as a starting quarterback in Philadelphia. Max. You break. I mean, here, so let's get into this here. So you want to hear some of these questions I'll ask you, and you want to see how pathetic you will be? Watch this one here. Let's start it off here. Do you believe Devontae Smith is going to deliver a better 4 years in the next 4 years as the number 1 wideout than what AJ delivered in the last 4 years in Philly? Yes or no? Watch this one. Do you believe that Devontae Smith is going to deliver 4 better years than what AJ did? I think it was more AJ not liking the head coach. Look at these people. Okay. You think Devontae Smith's a better football player right now? Hey, how about this? Do you believe Devontae Smith's a better football player than A.J. Brown? Do you believe that right also? Do you believe that Devontae's a better player? Man, you guys are just really butthurt. He's never proven at any moment in any time playing in that offense that he's been a better player than A.J. Brown. He's never at any time been a better player. He's never displayed that on the field as a better player. He's never shown he could take double coverage. He has never shown that one time that he's a better football player. But yet you're thinking that now. Based on what? Never having been a 1. Wow. Anybody giving AJ tribute and well wishes is a softie and has no Philly in you after that interview that was clear, cold shoulder. You are less of a man or a woman. What interview are you talking about? Him talking about his interview or his Maria Taylor interview about Jalen Hurts and saying that he's not in a good place with the quarterback? People drift apart, dude. Personally, I don't give a shit about their relationship. I care you win football games, Marsh. Who gives a shit whether they're butt buddies or not? You think Bill Belichick and Tom Brady were butt buddies? Who cares? I mean, who fucking cares? Wide receiver room is solid. Tight end room, Stowers and Goddard solid. O-line, Hurts need to step up. Your wide receiver room is solid, and your tight end room, based with Stowers, who wasn't even a starter at Vanderbilt, is better. Wow. Oh, I mean, this is delusionalville today. You guys are acting like fucking Mets fans. Pipe down. Sills, I'm waiting to see the amenities go crazy. When A.J. Brown says Drake May is the best passer I've played with so far in my NFL career, the Jalenites will riot. Oh, he'll say that. Dude, delusional. You believe that A.J. Brown, the last 4 years, you think Devontae Smith is going to deliver better football in the next 4 years than what he delivered is psycho. It's psycho. Smitty burns for 10. He can handle number one corners. AJ wasn't the player he is now when he first got to Philly. The quarterback sucks throwing the ball. He sucks throwing the ball. When he's not a runner, he's an average player. Man, this is delusionalville. This is crazy. Respectfully, how the fuck are you holding this against Jalen? I'm not holding anything against Jalen. He didn't want to work the problem out. He wanted to focus on football. He didn't give a shit about the relationship between Jalen, himself, or Hassan Reddick. If the story's true, he cared about himself. He cared about the football that he was going to play. If he doesn't want to write a problem or get involved in helping teammates out, that's fucking on the story. And Jalen goes on and worries about playing football. Okay, I'm not defending anybody. I personally don't give a shit. I don't care who you're banging. I care on Sundays you win ball games. I don't care about that stuff. The quarterback wants to get involved? Fine. The quarterback doesn't? Fine. You knew A.J. Brown had an attitude problem when you signed him. You knew Brown had a problem when you signed him. Why are you having an epiphany now? This really is wild today on how you didn't know. Why do you think I was calling him A.J. Owens? I was calling him A.J. Owens because of his NFL draft profile. And then he wasn't going to change. He's not going to change in New England. New England knows what he's getting. Mike Vrabel drafted the guy. He knows what he's getting. This is so fucking dumb. You're the ones that are shocked? Wow. Not me. I'm not shocked in any way. We haven't had full effort AJ in year. Really? You've had the shittiest passing offense the last 2 years in pro football for a contending team. And that's on A.J. Brown. How about the shitty quarterback? How about the shitty passing quarterback that's bottom 10 in the NFL in passing? Give me a break, man. I mean, also, Sills, I also heard AJ was speaking bad about Smitty and Saquon, alluding Smitty didn't speak out about the offense because he knew he would be wide receiver one. I don't buy that whatsoever, and I want to see that quote. Philly 500 also said he heard some things. Oh, okay. So let me get this right. It's Jalen. No. You missed what I said, Jimbo. If Jalen Hurts doesn't want to get involved in teammates' issues and fixing out a problem, then so be it. Okay? And he doesn't want to be involved in it, so be it. That's Jalen's position. Tom Brady got involved with a murderer. Tom Brady got involved with a psycho in Antonio Brown. If you don't want to do that, that's your personal preference. That's why Brady will always be a greater teammate than what Jalen Hurts will ever be. Because Brady took the extra steps. Some guys want to, some guys don't. And more for the record, a lot of guys don't. A lot of guys don't want to do that. I don't blame anybody. It's what it is. Okay, it's hey, now we know why Reddick was traded after 27 sacks in 2 years. You don't trade a guy 27 sacks, runner-up defensive player of the year, and 27 sacks in 2 years, and you blow the guy out. Now you know why. They were trying to calm the waters behind the scenes by getting rid of Reddick. All of a sudden, you get rid of Reddick and you sign that stiff Bryce Huff? Oh, okay. Howie outsmarted himself there. Howie moved a guy that was in a groove in Philly. And no doubt, you've never been the same at that position having lost Reddick. You've never had the sack totals that Reddick has had. Reddick had 27 sacks, not counting the playoffs, in 2 years. That's an ego thing too, dudes. Hey, and by the way, there's no blame. If Jalen doesn't want to get involved with it, so be it. But if there was a problem between teammates and Jalen thought more of, I don't want to be involved, I'm all about football, there's 10,000 guys in the league that think that. There's some quarterbacks that would get involved. There's some that wouldn't. Most wouldn't. Okay? And you got a guy who didn't want to get involved. All right. So no blame. How did he fucking replace him when he played on the other side of him? Says you got to calm down. We aren't even half hour. What do you mean calm down? Dog, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, man. Calm down. Dude, you need a reality check. You have none. Zero. You have no reality check. You have no idea about anything on how anything works. So I'm not stunned that what I'm saying to you shocks you. I'm not surprised because you are a delusional hamburger when it comes to your fucking team. It's okay to be a guy who waves bam bams and sits under Howie's desk on his knee pads. There's no problem with that. And I get it. Right. I'm not going to tell Jalen Hurts to tell my teammate who to fucking bang and not bang. That's not my place. Who gives? But by the way, and if you think AJ was a diva on that, look at his NFL profile. He's more apt to act out because he loses focus. I'm sorry, guys. You're the ones that are now with your eyes open instead of being like Reyes with his eyes closed and knee dragging. I mean, you got to be kidding me. First, you think A.J. Brown will be replaced by Devontae Smith like this. And you think you're going to have four better. So let me ask this question one more time. Okay? So let me ask you this. You think in the next 4 years, you're going to have 2 14-win seasons and go to 2 Super Bowls in the next 4 years? With AJ and a cast of people in a draft pick. That's what you think? Okay? Make sure those guys aren't here, Cam. Hey, listen. You believe that. Wow. So take me behind the scenes on how the Pats ended up caving into Howie's request of a first rounder. They knew the player is a great football player and that they were going to make him better. Think about it. In 28, let's say the Patriots have a down year. Well, they're going to get an easy schedule in 27. And that pick is going to be probably a worse pick than you think. It's going to be down in like the 30s or the 20s, late 20s. And so to them, it's like a second-round pick. And by the way, I know that's such a weak-ass answer by Roseman, too. First rounder is a first rounder. So in his eyes, a first rounder in 2038 is a first rounder? Okay, right. I mean, you won't even have the same quarterback in 28. I knew there was an issue with AJ when he was just ho-hum about winning the Super Bowl. We will definitely miss the skills set, but not his mindset. Not his mindset? Now all of a sudden he's a cancer. Yeah, okay. Man, I told you you would do this, and you're doing it. Like clockwork. We're like Nostradamus here. We told you would do this. Smitty's better. Lemon's a fucking 1,500-yard receiver. Jalen's great. This is all on AJ. So now your two scapegoats this offseason has been Kevin Patullo and AJ Brown. Man, you'll make excuses for losing, and you'll cover anything up to cover your boy and to cover not succeeding with anything to make yourself feel better. That is wild. Kevin Patullo and now AJ Brown is the reasons you got punked by the Niners in that playoff game. Is that why? Whew. Man, are you soft? You're softer than that story about who's banging who. What a soft group of people that think that. Hey, dude, if my buddy is banging a girl that I was banging and I was making $30 million, I could give a fuck about that. You know what I would do? I'd go bang his old lady. I could give a shit about that. I only care about football. How stupid do you think these men are? Man, you will make every excuse for failure. There's no excuse for failure. You win or lose. Scoreboard, bitch. You're going to have a better 4 years. My views? No way. You are not going to have 4 years of what you just saw. Never happened. Never happened. But we shall see. And it starts this year. By the way, I will not change my prediction of 8-9. Like we did at the beginning of the season when I said last year you'd win. I think I said you'd win 9 games. Then I changed it to 11, which was true. You're going to go 8-9 this year. By the way, slam it down. 2:34 Eastern, June 2nd, 8-9. Write it down. All right. So, AJ said we're not close anymore. Now, does this story play into it? Probably a little bit. Plus the quarterback's inability to get him the ball. Plus Nick's offense. Plus the attitude of getting another. Hey, get this. Figure this out too, which is crazy. Why in God's name would A.J. Brown want to play with Sean Mannion when he could go and have Josh McDaniels calling plays for him? Common sense. Use it. Use it. Why in God's name would I want a guy who's never called a play in his entire life, not even in fucking college or high school, has called an offensive play in his life versus a guy with 6 rings and put 2 different quarterbacks in the Super Bowl and last year won the Offensive Coach of the Year award in the NFL for a 3rd time? Yeah, I'll take a guy who's a novice over a guy who's won 6 Super Bowls and just came off a Super Bowl and took a guy to a Super Bowl not named Brady. Crazy. Okay? So let's go here. By the way, please hit the like button. Appreciate y'all. You mean I don't believe the Patriots can handle this schedule? You mean the Dolphins twice, the Jets twice, and the Bills twice? Seals, predict the Patriots record for the season. 10-7, 11-6, something like that. Ain't gonna be no 14 wins, whatever they got last year. They'll be a better team, but they'll take a step back because of the record. The record doesn't dictate how good your football team is. If they're unbalanced schedules. Some teams are going to play tougher teams, some teams are not. And by the way, you have no idea what a team's going to look like in December compared to what they look like in September. You have no idea. Sitting here in June, you don't know what its football team's going to look like in September versus December. How could you? It's called the war of attrition. We could say we are worse without AJ, but also be realistic. We were never winning another championship with him on the team. So why waste another season when we're able to get a 1 and a first rounder instead? I don't mind that mentality. You just have to wait 2 years. Okay? I knew it. 2 years? It's okay. I don't mind that mentality, big man. Smitty ain't AJ, of course, but I'll tell you this. Smitty doesn't entertain bullshit. Okay. I don't believe that Devontae Smith has the talent AJ Brown does. That's there. I said it. I don't believe he's as talented. And nor will he ever be. I think Devontae Smith's a heck of a player. But he's not JSN or some of these other guys you think he is. JSN did all that with Sam Darnold. I mean, A.J. Brown with a passer is a 1,500-yard guy a year. Here, I think this will tell us all on how you see A.J. Brown moving forward. Will you remember the end of A.J. Brown or all the sensational great wins that he brought to the team? How are you going to remember him? By the ending? Or with the great wins? Watch this. Great wins? Good. Okay. Shocking. Shocking. In time, he will be forgiven. Forgiven for what? Let me guess. He's got to apologize like Jackson Dart for something, right? Hey, dude. Hey, Tommy. What these folks won't tell you is this. Devontae Smith had a higher drop rate last year than AJ did. AJ was third and fewest. Devontae was 15th. But he's better. I seriously doubt Howie has any intention of draft someone with a 28th first rounder. It will be used to move up in 27th draft to get the next Eagles quarterback. Let's see. So they humble now. I love it. Cowboys, Cowboys, Cowboys. Let's go. Oh, they're a lesser football team. The one thing with the Cowboys, though, and we'll continue to say this, guys, you got to prove it. The Cowboys have done a lot of good things. Still, you got to go out, bro, and you got to play these ball games. You can't beat the Eagles and then turn around and lose to the Cardinals. That's one thing the Eagles don't do. They don't lose to those shitty teams like that, or traditionally they don't. You do. Like, they'll beat a team like the Bills or somebody like that, then turn around and lose to the Arizona Cardinals. Can't do that. Not if you're going to be a contending football team. That's where the Eagles have the upper hand, is because they don't turn around and shit the bed against dog shit teams. Right. And then turn around and lose to the Giants. Now, I know the Eagles lost to New York last year. They weren't a very good football team. Cowboys 2 years away. Going to take a couple years to get that defense together. That could be. Jalen Hurts at OTAs today. 9 of 14, 2 tutties, and an interception. That was a pick six. Yeah, the first throw to AJ was a one-handed grab by Drake May. And the first throw in camp by Hurts was a pick six. Hey, put that in your stat chart there, ESP. Hilarious. Man, is 26 going to be one of the greatest football seasons I've ever covered. This is going to be iconic this year. Iconic. So as a source I heard it from, soon as I say his name, you would not be interested. But the source says AJ's inner circle, but I think you know who I'm talking about. I think I have an idea who you're talking about. Our talent on offense finally going to be playing together for the first time since 23. What a shitty take. Wow. Making shit up on the fly now. Look at all these, not all. Look at some of these Eagle fans in here. Now you're a better team without A.J. Brown. Man, you live in an island called delusional. Holy shit. It's incredible. Not shocking, though, but because I knew it. I know offense took a step back with this trade, but doesn't improvement at edge to start the season and a cornerback too cancel out the wide receiver on paper? No. Because if you have 3 and outs, dude, and you're still bottom of the line in 3 and outs, how's that help your defense when you're getting shitty field position? Or how about this one? You were 23rd a year ago with A.J. Brown. Now you're going to be better without him. Since you doubt the quarterback and not the talent level on the offense, you know there's plenty of talent still. No, I don't. I think they're overrated. I think that offensive line's now overrated. I think Barkley's somewhat overrated. I think they got big names on the back of the jerseys. And I don't know. Every one of those guys played poorly because why? AJ and Kevin Patullo? Man. Excuse machines all day. It's quite sad. Some of you guys in the chat should take the day off because you're losing your credibility with me. So how many games do you think it'll take the new offense to be competent? I don't see it. This season is going to be rough. Well, last year you had 17 ball games. Jimbo, did you see at any time last year where the offense clicked? But this year it's gonna. Without AJ. Okay. Dude, all this stuff about who's banging who. Wow. Are you under the impression NFL players don't have multiple girlfriends inside and Gumad's on the side? Are you understanding what? Is this something new that you're just now having an epiphany? That guys bang chicks on the side? Is this a brand new thing for you? Wow. Okay. Sorry to have you grow up. And let me say this to you, too. The tooth fairy doesn't leave money under your pillow when you put your tooth there, too. Or Santa's not real. I hate to tell you, like Reyes, but Santa's not real. If the Eagles don't bench Hurts this year, he will probably have a career high in turnovers. This offense fits Hurts like a OJ glove. Can Kleenex sponsor you? You cried so much. That's so femmy. That's such a femmy comment. Dude, really? Grab your nuts. Show me you got a pair. Don't, lose your man card. 2028 first round pick works out perfect. It's insurance policy for Hurts, okay? So far, so good. They can easily move up in 27's draft into the top 5, trading that pick for a quarterback next year. What quarterback are you talking about? Justin Saying? Who are you talking about? Dante Moore? Arch Manning? Who are these great quarterbacks you're talking about in 27? Dante Moore? Who Trinidad Chambliss? Name me one quarterback outside of Arch Manning that you went, that guy right there's Andrew Luck. Name me one guy. Seals, Cowboy fans are acting like Dak isn't one or more playoff failures before getting replaced. Oh, no, his time's coming too. That moccasin's on the wall in replacing. Plays in a better passing system, that's for sure. Okay? You always say edge and corner is more important than wide receiver. Why is it different now? Because you're trying to install a new offense and a new schematical scheme in approaching and how you're going to play the game with a new play caller. So let me get this right. You think taking the best offensive weapon out of your huddle with a new inexperienced play caller, with a new system, versus adding an edge rusher, you think that overcomes losing the best offensive player in the passing game? Got it. Got it. I'm so happy for AJ. He deserves a quarterback that could throw the ball on time and can read a defense. Guys, hit the like button. Appreciate you here. Thank you. I'm just saying, Sills logic, and now he's. I'm not. Guys, you're the ones mad that AJ's left, not me. I don't give a shit either way. That's the beautiful thing about how I cover your team. You care. I don't. See? You care. I don't. Why would I be mad at something I don't give a shit about? I'm mad at something I don't give 10 cents about. I'll have my Corona beer later and forget what I said. Says, I'm going to be honest. I'd rather take Sellers. I like that kid from South Carolina. I think the Notre Dame quarterback's not bad. Dante Moore and Julian Saying are all I don't see anything special in them dudes. That kid at Southern Cal's not awful. He's not. And the kid at Miami is making $10 million this year. We'll see what he does. He did win the ACC last year, so we'll see. Again, I want to see what he does. I'm not ready to crown UM anything. I had a guy ask me, is Miami back? I'm like, from what? They didn't win shit. Miami took the bar exam. They didn't pass it. For you to be back, you got to win a national title. You can't be at the prom. I want to dance with the fucking prom queen. Sills, you should be giving Howie props for getting a first for a player forcing his way out that didn't have a trade market. Hey, congratulations. You can pick it up in 2 years. Congratulations. Hey, Curtis. So that's like saying you put a watch on layaway and you bought it now, but you go pick it up in 2 years. How you feel about that? Hey, I bought a Rolex, but I can't have it for 2 years. You all right with that? And you dropped the money. I paid 20 grand for the watch, but I don't get it for 2 years. Okay. Congratulations. I'm out 20 grand for 2 years. Sills, is there any truth to Philadelphia being a very attractive place to go for free agents? Outside of wide receivers, and yeah, I would think it would be great. If you're a wide receiver, you don't want to play in that stiff offense. Sills with Howie, do you think we'll wait 2 years to see it pay off? No, I think probably, depending on the quarterback's play, it'll probably be used in 27. And they'll take the 28 pick and use it in 27. Probably so. I don't think he's going to sit around and wait. You didn't care, but your show has been about AJ for the past 3 months. It's because I cover the Eagles. I don't know. Hello? I cover the Eagles, and my show the last 3 months has been about AJ, which has been the biggest story next to Myles Garrett today and yesterday. And I cover the Birds. Got it. Yeah. What would you like me to cover? Justin Saying at Ohio State? Well, let me guess. Your bullshit kicker. Marshall, that was like a real whiff, dude. Is there a player outside of the quarterback position worth of moving up? Yeah, you know who? Jeremiah Smith. The Eagles have no A.J. Brown and failed to get Myles Garrett. Yet the Eagles don't down bad hope for next year. This season is cooked. I don't think this season – look, I think they're going to try to improve this offense this year. But this is going to be a learning season. You're installing a brand new scheme and a way of throwing the ball the quarterback has never done before in his entire career. College, high school, pros, he's never done this. But now he's going to be Matthew Stafford. Okay. Good luck to you. There's a difference, Sills. There's the difference, Sills. Sills got no feelings on the Birds. No. That's not what I said. I don't give a shit about your passion about your team and how I cover it. I see it how it is. You throw passion on it. I get it, and I understand it. But my evaluations and my conversations on your team are not drenched in Kelly Green. Yours are. That's why for me, my covering of your football team is strictly football. You got a passion for it, which is great. And I'm not ripping that. Go ahead. But it clouds your judgment. Anytime emotions become part of your conversation, it clouds your judgment. And it will always. Passionate things for people cloud their judgment. I mean, that's why for me, I don't root for any NFL team. Like, I don't have one football team, NFL. And as he says, what is this? Did I see somebody say something about my Hurricanes? And absolutely true. My Hurricanes cloud my judgment. Absolutely. My passion for the Hurricanes clouds my judgment. Yes. Yes. Difference is, I can admit it. Having a side piece and having a fiance is clouded judgment. Dude, like I said to you before, whether or not a guy's banging somebody on the side, are you under the impression that A.J. Brown, if true, is the only guy that's ever happened to? And that's never been in an NFL locker room before? I mean, what do you want players to do about it? Fucking phone home to E.T.? Hey, guess what? AJ's banging some girl and he's fiance, and it's Hassan Reddick's piece on the side. What do you guys think? Hey, get your pail and shovel and go to the beach. Get a dog. What the fuck, man? I mean, by the way, all of a sudden, you're now saying, well, AJ, he's just a diva. Really? Well, who's been telling you that since he got here? I'm the one that's been calling him AJ Owens. Stop calling him that, Sills. I think I think you misunderstand, AJ. No, I don't. Because I've seen that mentality. I played with shit like that. I never, ever thought he was anybody than what he was. A great player who is emotionally, at times, comes unwrapped. The only difference between him and Owens is this. He's smarter and he picks his moments better. That shit doesn't shock me. It's shocking you. Which is insane. But expected. How would you know? How would you know? You wouldn't know. Yeah, what's that, Kim? AJ Brown said not true. We already know AJ lies. You do? You know AJ lies. So, in your opinion, Jason, AJ's a liar now? Based on what? Your personal knowledge of the guy and your friendship? I mean, right? Yeah, okay. His personal relationship with AJ Brown. AJ, you're a liar. Gotta love these guys, man. Fans are wild, I'll tell you. Chills, I gotta give you a hint on the source. You guys have had a falling out. Oh God. I pray to God. I just sent him a text message if it's who I think it is. And by the way, if it's an internet dude, I've never had a relationship with anybody other than Philly Godfather and Philly 500 and Mark. Says, I love this shit. What a relief. Eagles can't talk Super Bowl. They humble now. Okay. All right. Now I know who it is. Hey, Sills, remember when Michael Irvin never blamed Troy Aikman for getting his dick in the wrong place? Hey, Sills, remember when Michael Irvin never blamed Troy Aikman? When did Troy Aikman ever do that? Or I'm not sure what you're talking. Troy Aikman? Or are you talking about Michael Irvin? Remember when Michael Irvin never blamed Troy Aikman for getting his dick in the wrong place? Not sure what that is. I don't remember Troy ever being in a bad place with anybody. And once again, he listens to 5% of what I said. Bro, some quarterbacks will, some won't get involved. I don't care either way. So what's a Hurts stat line that will make you say he had a successful season with Philly? Shouldn't move on. I think it's going to be more about the eyeball test. I think it really is. It's going to be about the eyeball test if the offense is moving. And you see them getting better and better and better. I think 2026, you can say whatever you want. And by the way, I will not budge off of 8 and 9. I am not budging. But for them to get better, I think somewhere, again, I don't know if it's going to be numbers. I just think it's going to be about how smooth it looks. Sills, like it was discussed yesterday, it's not up to Hurts to cool things down. That's a job for Nick. Absolutely. That's Nick Sirianni's gig. That's Nick Sirianni's job, was to calm that relationship thing down. And what they did was they got rid of Reddick. You know what? I bet you anything happened. Nick Sirianni heard about it. Nick Sirianni went to Howie and they moved Reddick. Guy with 30 sacks. And everyone was going, why the fuck are they moving him? The guy, a down year for him was 11 sacks. Year previous, he had 16. 27 sacks in 2.5 years. The guy was a force. Oh, Vic doesn't like him. Vic doesn't like half the guys they brought in. Vic didn't even know who Adoree Jackson was. Okay? The organization let their best receiver walk out the door. Who do you blame that someone in the organization couldn't rectify the problem? The owner, the coach, or the GM? All of the above. Get this. You picked up a first rounder for a guy you need. Congratulations. Congratulations. You let the best player in offense in your huddle walk out the door. He's an aging player. He's a declining player. So you're blaming the offense for sucking out loud on A.J. Brown. So you blame A.J. Brown for the run game? You blame A.J. Brown now for the play calling? You're pathetic. Here's another one for you. My concern is not with Devontae really going over to the one hole. What do you think you're going to get at a wide receiver 2? What do you think you're going to get at a wide receiver 2 this year? You think Mekhi Lemon is as talented as Devontae Smith? Yes or no? Devontae Smith coming out of 800 yards. This is insane. This is insane to think that. You better be thinking somewhere like 600 yards and 59 catches. This guy's not accomplished like Devontae was coming out of college. Devontae Smith was the Heisman Trophy winner. Played in a pro-style offense against elite football players in the Southeastern Conference. But Mekhi Lemon is going to have 90 catches and 100 yards and 7 touchdowns. I mean, you should be more worried about wide receiver 2. That's going to be your biggest problem on your football team this year. Is who takes the heat off of Devontae? Your collection of guys? Your committee of receivers? So let me get this right. You'd rather have a collection of wide receivers than a great football player there in the 2-hole like Devontae. You think you have people on your football team that are going to cover for Devontae's second wide receiver production? So now, get this. You think you're going to get 4 better years than what you had 4 previous years with Smith being in the 1-hole. And now you think you're going to have more or as the same production from this collection of dudes at wide receiver 2. Just I'm worried about how Lemon will fit into this offense early. Jalen takes a long time to build trust with wide receiver, and I could see him struggling. It's a great take. Sills, you agreed last month that Lemon has similar numbers to Smitty's rookie year. It's a success. 600 would be a failure. Correct. Well, not a failure. He's not as talented as Devontae Smith. Are you under the impression Mekhi Lemon is as good as Smith? Does anybody in here believe that too? Do you believe the kid Mekhi Lemon is as good as Devontae Smith? Do you believe that? So you believe you drafted another Devontae Smith when the only wide receiver that you've drafted in 20 fucking years is Devontae Smith, and you believe you drafted another Devontae? That's fucking delusional. In the last 20 years, you've drafted one wide receiver that's worth the shit. But now you're got a guy who's going to replace the talent of Devontae Smith. You don't realize it. You're downplaying Devontae Smith's ability by saying that. Wow. Seals, they drafted the Biletnikoff winner and Mackey winner, and now Devontae's number 1. How he's putting all his chips in that in a few years, it will all click. The window's currently closed for now. Smith won the Heisman, and he's still yet to show he's a number 1. Correct. That's a great take. He is the Heisman winner, polished, excellent talent, and he has not shown one sign of being a number 1. Playing on the other side of AJ with no double coverage. And Brown got all the double coverage. He has not shown one sign of that. So for this offense to work, they're going to need over 400 yards out of the running back. So, Pierre, what people are saying then is that Barkley's got to be like a 2K totally offensive guy this year, 1,500 yards rushing and 400 receiving, and he's got to be 2,000 yards total offense from scrimmage. Oof, man. Wow. And with one of the worst passing offenses in football the last 5 years, you're going to do all of this with a new OC with no experience. I think Howie's confidence in his ability to draft, that words he's putting his chips for better or worse, and maybe grabbing a seasoned player along the way. Now, I will say this. they may do something towards the trading deadline like they did this past year. Okay? Yes. I mean, oh, that's a really nice promo. Thank you very much. Sports Grid just made a nice promo. I put it on my X account. You guys should go see it. It's pretty cool. By the way, that job's not here because of it. It's totally great. Thank you. Finger type Eagles record under Sirianni with 100-yard rusher sales. And AJ seems to be a tad over the top. Okay. Sales, how much of Mannion being an ex-quarterback and Andy Dalton mentoring would help Hurts? I think that Andy Dalton stuff on the sidelines is going to help a lot. What are you saying? I do. I like experienced quarterbacks on the sidelines. Brady always had one. I mean, he'll walk over and talk. You can see him talking to his backup quarterback all the time. What do you see? What are you seeing? And like Brady will take that and then talk to Josh McDaniels or Bill O'Brien or Charlie Weiss or whomever was on the sidelines. No, Lemon isn't as talented as Smith Sills, but Lemon, like Smitty, is pretty polished coming out of college. I think he'll make a smooth transition because of his route running. Curtis, it's a lot to say that he's in Smitty's room. I do not believe that. He is nowhere near as talented as Devontae Smith. He's a really good player. But Smith is a good football player. And by the way, do I think Devontae Smith is going to make himself into being one? How about this? I'm going to make you a comparison. You're not going to like it. I think Devontae Smith is going to be in the same conversation with Terry McLaurin. That's what I see in him. And I happen to think Terry McLaurin is a hell of a player. I don't see him any better than that. And if he proves me wrong, we'll be the first to say it here. He'll be Terry McLaurin. And if you think Terry McLaurin's a good player, and I do, okay? Terry McLaurin has had bullshit wideouts or quarterbacks. And if you think he's as good as Terry McLaurin, I think he's going to be in that conversation. Hey, I think he's going to be in that conversation. Alshon Jeffrey was our number one before we did just fine. Let's see what Terry McLaurin's career has been like. Let's see here. Terry McLaurin. 919, 1,100 yards, 1,000, 1,100, 1,002, 1,096, 582. 77 catches, 82, 87. Yeah. That's who he is. Yeah. Eagles, let's talk about y'all old Super Bowl run. I love this shit. I love this, Sells. He's not Puka Nacua, dude. True. I think McLaurin's a hell of a player. I think he's a hell of a player. Says, why did only one of 32 teams want elite A.J. Brown? Because that deal was set in stone with the Patriots and the Eagles. Like I told you 3.5 months ago. You didn't want to believe me. You kept saying my sources were bullshit. That deal was done. Have you not seen their social media posting? The minute 4 o'clock hit, Some of you guys are just not listening ever. And then you know what I love some of the people in Philadelphia do? They take the shit we said the last 6 months and they try to make it their own, which is fine. But we've been saying this since January 7th. This was 1,000% done. And then as we got 3.5 months out, we told you this deal was done already. This deal was done a long time ago. Okay? Hey, I did say it wasn't a first, but I said they were trading it to New England. Bro, I thought it was a 1 and a 3. You got a 5 in 2028. Yeah. Dude, I told you from beginning in January, it's the Patriots and done. The deal was done. Oh, and by the way, that didn't turn into a 1 until 2 weeks ago. Because it was a 2 and a 3, and the Eagles didn't want it. Dude, Alonzo Highsmith told me personally. I sent those text messages to Zander and to Angelo and Howard Eskin 3.5 months ago. It's a slam dunk deal. So don't sit there and tell me we didn't have this 3.5 months ago, that this deal was done. This deal was done 3.5 months ago. Why in God's name would I show you fucking Alonzo's text message with his cell phone number on it? Hey, dude, if you believe it or not, I don't give a shit. Howie did say from the beginning he wanted a 1. The Patriots didn't want to do it until 2 weeks ago. Other teams didn't offer because it was done. That makes it, well, that's the way it played out. Seals, AJ's knees are so good. Why didn't the Rams back out? You're right. AJ's toast. You're better without him. Sure, guy. Keep thinking that. I'm not debating with ignorance and thinking you're better without AJ Brown. That's a non-starting. Anybody who posts that shit, I am not going down that lane. That is so dumb and asinine. She says, I actually think the 28 first is smart because the quarterback issues. That's a good take. Okay? That's a good take. I'll tell you one thing I never got is that Rams 2012 or that 12th pick in 26. Jesus Christ, you couldn't have taken a player and add Garrett. I mean, I don't know. That's just crazy. I bet that has a lot to do with it and Howie will never say it publicly. But they said we wouldn't get a first for AJ. AJ had bad knees on the Titans. I know. Get this. Now all of a sudden, he's got bad knees. He's a descending player. But the shitty quarterback who throws him the ball has no problems. And he's not part of the whole dynamic. The shitty play callers, the shitty coaching decisions, the shitty scheme. It's all AJ now. You can't make that shit up. If Manning can run the ball and win on first and second down, they'll be fine. Yes. This offense has never run through AJ. It's gone through the running game. This offense went through AJ in 22. AJ still has 3 or 4 dominant years left. Agreed. Sills, ask Zander, does JAKIB Sports have credentials to go to joint practice? No, because this is why I love Zander and JAKIB. They are not credentialing JAKIB because of me, not because of Zander, obviously not because of John, but they don't credential. But I have NFL credentials through Brian McCarthy. My credentials are not updated because I just haven't gone anywhere. But I could go anywhere I want in any clubhouse I wanted. And for any NFL sanctioned game. Because I'm credentialed through the NFL through national media. And plus, if I had to, I could get nationally credited or credentialed through SportsGrid if I had to. But because of me, JAKIB, and I give them 1,000 credits for this because of me. And they back me. Because they don't like the way we talk about the team. That shitty quarterback gave AJ his best numbers while feeding others. You drag nuts everyday convo. Hey, Brian, whatever you want to think, bro, your quarterback, I think he's a good player. As a passer, I think he blows. And I'm sure you think he's great. Okay? And by the way, we'll agree to disagree. You think he's wonderful. You think he's an electric pocket passer. I don't. I've said that for 5 years. Whatever. You could think that. I'll have my opinion. Okay, Jackson Dart? Abdul Carter? You have your way of thinking. I think mine. Agree to move on. Sills, you can get into a press conference or no? I don't know if I could get into that weekly press conference, but I can get into a game on Sundays. I don't know if I could get into like the scrums during the week, but I could get into an NFL Sunday game anywhere in the nation, and I have. All you got to do is call Brian McCarthy. Brian McCarthy always credentials me. He got my wife credentialed, right, Kim? Kim, you there? She must be out with my dog. I needed a producer. My wife's one of the best producers. He credentialed my wife for the 2 Super Bowls that we went to. I said, I need a credential for my wife and my kid. They credentialed them. Sills, would you say with the Rams having Golf and Stafford gives them a latitude of trading for players? The Rams are always looking to upgrade at that particular moment. And that's a great comment, Kyle. Golf had taken the Rams to a Super Bowl, and then they went and got Stafford. Be prepared to see something like that with the Eagles and trading for somebody like Burrow or somebody like Lamar Jackson or somebody like, that's disgruntled in a place. Let's see here. Three first-round picks for Pickens. Eagles Nations make the call. 3 first-round pick for Pickens. Eagle Nation make the call. What? 3 first-round picks for Pickens, the receiver, in Dallas? Yeah, no. Bro, you'd be lucky. I mean, I'd throw maybe I don't know if I'd throw a 1 at him. I want to see him do it again. Not happening. I'm not sure I'm giving a 1 for George Pickens. Not yet. I could see the Eagles getting Burrow if Hurts can't get it done or Lamar. He's a Dallas fan, Sills. Don't pay him any mind. 3 1s for Pickens? I'm not giving you a 1 for Pickens. Dude, The problem with Pickens is he's confrontational. AJ was never confrontational. Hey, Kim, remember when they credentialed you for the Super Bowl? Yeah. So anytime we need credentials, like I get my if I wanted to go to a Super Bowl or a game, we call Brian McCarthy up. My wife has done all of this too. She's been credentialed numerous times. And all we have to do is call up Brian McCarthy, head of PR for the NFL, and they credential us. I could go into any NFL facility I want. You think Baker wants out of Tampa? No, I don't. But I'm not giving Baker Mayfield $60 million. Jerry doesn't mind paying top dollar for talent, but not off of one season. Still has maturity issues. Jerry wants at least 2 years of top production for giving that bag. I completely agree with that. For what? A tuna tournament? You need to get credentialed? I'll get you credentialed for the Chesapeake Bay, let's see, Flounder tournament. That's coming up in July. There, New Jersey Fishing Maniac. We'll get you hooked up that way. What do you think? The NFL's Chesapeake Bay fishing tournament and Flounder tournament. Is that cool? That's coming up in July, late July, by the way, right before training camp. So we'll get you connected with Brian McCarthy. I'll get you there. We got a nice little dock, nice little inlet. Take all your grub out there. Okay. You can take your Hello Kitty lunch pail out there with you. We're all good, right? If the offensive line plays out, I'd say they'll have a chance to do great things. Am I wrong thinking that because last year was a train wreck on the offensive line? Dude, that is the billion-dollar question right there. If that offensive line comes back and plays really well, they're going to be good. You're right. If the offensive line comes back and is a little better than last year, they're not going to be good. I heard the flounders are this big now. My grandpa and I used to catch flounders like this. I heard they're like this big because of tools like you out there overfishing it. Is that right? I love this guy. Sills ain't even got credentials to get to Big Z's wedding. Oh, bringing that shit up, man. Sills, who has more pressure on them to win now, Eagles or the Pats? I think the Rams. Dude, I think the Rams have a lot of... Dude, you went out and got Trent McDuffie, too. I think the Rams have... Of all the teams, I think the Rams have, I think they have a ton of pressure on them this year. Ton of pressure. Man. I like McMullen today on Birds 365, by the way. He didn't want to talk about any of that shit off the field. And a reporter that covers the team is going to act like that, and no shade on John. But I believe it. Do I think it was the reason that AJ's in New England? No. But I do think it's one of the reasons why Hassan Reddick was dealt the way he was dealt. Never made sense. Now it does. And now you got Deshaun Jackson saying the same shit. 60-40. It was football 60-40 off the field. I'd buy Deshaun Jackson. He knows them dudes. Sills, the trade that kept coming up is sending Hurts to Houston for Stroud. You know what? I'd rather not have Stroud. Give me Hurts. Hurt, dude, if I'm going to make a trade and get rid of Jalen Hurts, CJ Stroud's not my answer. And if that's the answer, I'm extending Hurts. If somebody came up to me and said, Sills, we got a chance to go get CJ Stroud and send Jalen home back where he's from, I'd be like, fuck that. I'm not moving on to that guy. No, thank you. I would have no issue with I would have no issue saying that. Sills, he's got a little more skills. I don't care. I don't like the way the guy works in the pocket. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I don't even know if I'm doing that with a guy like Trevor Lawrence. The hybrids. I saw a couple flash today, but Sonny's got them there. Crawlers first, and I was tired from the last few days, so I said I'm out of here. Bro, I'll tell you how I used to go and get me some like blue shell crabs. Dude, I'd get in the big ones, where you put up, the boots, got the thing on the strap. My uncle and I would go into like the water and we would get a garbage can and an old inner tube, put the garbage can in the middle, and we'd start scooping up blue shell crabs. We get about 200-300 of them. I miss those days, man. With my Uncle Mike. On paper, is this Rams team better than the Eagles Super Bowl team? I don't know. That old line of the Eagles puts them above a lot of teams. And I'd have to still go with the Eagles O-line and the Eagles D-line that year over the Rams, even with Myles Garrett. As a combination, the Eagles, how about that Eagles O-line versus the Rams front four right now? I still think that 2024 Eagles offensive line would win that. And with Barkley with 2K, man. And then the way the Eagles played in the defensive front seven in 24, man, that's a special group. That's a special group. Yes, sir. AJ just spoke, said New England is heaven. Oh, no way. Hold on here. Let me get some of this here. New England is heaven. He didn't say that. Did he just say it? I know this ain't heaven, but it's close to it. AJ, I'm being a patriot. Hold on for a second. Dang. 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 He said, I just caught myself walking up the hill, and I'm a patriot. Damn. Damn. I'm a patriot. Damn. I called my mom, told her, damn, I'm a patriot. Can you believe that? I just did. I tweeted it out on X. Damn, I'm a patriot. Shit. Can you believe it? I'm a New England Patriot. Damn. Sorry if you covered this already, but did you hear AJ and Hassan were stuffing the same side dish? Maybe Rossini and Hurts didn't care when AJ told them. I don't care either. But, yeah. Damn. Damn. You believe that? I had to stop myself. I looked around and I just realized I'm a patriot. Shit. You know who also was a patriot? Aaron Hernandez. Okay. Damn. What is up with that? Let's see. Anything else he came out of that thing with? Man. He is just totally in a full out glaze. Yep. There he is. Right there. I know this ain't heaven. Boy. Look at all these social media posts, too. There's Drake May. There's Hunter Henry. Look at this dime. Look at AJ catching that one-handed pass. Dude, he's yoked, too. Looks in good shape. Ready to rock. Go get him, AJ. 1,500 coming in. 100 catches, 10 touchdowns. Says he got the coach. He never wanted to leave. Okay? How about this? He's got like Josh McDaniels now to scheme up plays. Man. Bleacher Report News said Rams had issues with AJ's medical, and that's why the value wasn't more. Then how the fuck did you get a 1? Let me guess. Because you think the Patriots are a sorry-ass organization. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he looks great, but he will find a way to be unhappy and make sure to tell everyone. Yes? Why are you shocked by that, Charles? Hey, wait a minute. Before I get Big Z on, watch this. AJ Owens. Remember when I was bringing AJ Owens up and all of you fish were doing this? Why are you doing that, Sills? He's just misunderstood. I'm like, he's AJ Owens. I didn't think anything different. All of a sudden now it's like some gigantic epiphany. Oh. This shit was made in Sileo heaven. Hey, this is like Big Sills. This is Big Sillsville. Okay? And by the way, yes, we got all kinds of drama going on. We got chicks being banged. We have, like, now he's glazing. And by the way, we're not afraid to talk about that here on this big show here because I like the TMZ factor of all this stuff. And he's up there going like, God, this is heaven. Being a New England Patriot. I'm sorry, dude. But if that were me, my personality fits Philly more than New England. I'd rather be in a place that people kick the shit out of people. I don't know about you, man. I'm just saying. Without further ado, the man we're hoping that is in a good mood. Our friend, Big Z, Zander Krause joins us now. How you doing? How you going, bro?
What's up, Big Sills? How you doing, brother? Oh, no mic? You can't hear me?
Uh-uh.
How about now?
Are we good, Big Z? What's up, man?
Want me or no?
Got a little problem here. All right, he's going to check back in with us here in a second. Till then, let's see here. You happy, Sills? You think we buck you care? Thanks for being here. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Without further ado, he must have shut it off for some reason. Maybe some of the shit that I was saying. Without further ado, my friend, Big Z Zander Krause joins us now. How you doing?
What's up, Big Sills?
How you doing, bro? 24
I'm doing
hours.
good, man. How you doing?
Oh, I'm in Big Sillsville right now.
I know
That's
you
how
are.
I'm doing.
I know
right?
you are.
First, let's start here. 24 hours after. Any different takeaways than what you had 24 hours ago on this trade, AJ going to New England?
Yeah, I think actually my feeling on it is vastly different than a lot of what I've seen on social media with Eagle fans and even here in the JAKIB chat. Um, I'm not saying it didn't need to happen because I do think AJ wanted to leave Philly, but I'm disappointed that it happened. I mean, I don't think the Eagles got better, and I think the Eagles have been in this era, the last 4 years specifically, where the fans and the team and the ownership and the general manager have all believed we are the cream of the crop of the NFL. And they've operated that way. They've made moves that way. They've played games that way. They've even, handled press conferences that way. And I think that feeling is gone for me right now. And that's not to say that they can't be good, but you take one of the best players on an offense that was already struggling, and you trade him away in the prime of his career for a pick that won't land on your football team till 3 years and won't have an impact on your football team till maybe 4 years if it goes that way. So I'm not happy about it. I think the Eagles should be operating more like the Rams right now. When you are in the mode and you are in the mix, that doesn't exist. That doesn't remain in a stasis like that. So I believe they were right there. And instead of doubling down to me, they've replaced great players with hopeful players, all pros with draft picks, $30 million players with rookie contracts. And they're hoping that the outcome remains the same. I don't know that it will. Again, I understand the complexity of it because AJ did want out. So you can't sit there and just keep him. I understand that. And I'm not trying to dismiss that, but that doesn't change that I think this is a significantly negative period of time for the Eagles right now and what's been a very, very strong 4 years for the organization. And we're going to see what kind of impact it has. If they can go and win 12, 13 games and be right back in the mix, well, I'll be wrong, and I'll be happy to be wrong. But if they fall off this year and your win prediction and what was it, 8 or 9 wins or whatever it was,
8 wins
comes true, well, I'm sure the people in here won't be saying, hey, we want AJ Brown back. So it is what it is, Sills, but 24 hours later, the Eagles are a worse team. And it's harder for me to look at them as a true Super Bowl contender here in June right now.
Is that Super Bowl window closed then?
I don't think it's closed, but earlier it felt like the window was open if the Eagles wanted to seize it because of the amount of talent that they had on their football team. I don't really think we can say that right now. Now, defensively, I will admit, I feel really good about the defense. I mean, I think that defense got better personnel-wise this summer, and I feel really strongly about them. But you got a first-year coordinator coming in. You got a receiver on the way out. You have a rookie receiver in Mekhi Lemon who's never caught a pass in the NFL. I mean, does anybody really want to sit here and make a case to me that Devontae Smith and Mekhi Lemon are even in the same arena as AJ Brown and Devontae Smith together?
Yeah, they do. They are.
Well, then that's I would disagree with them on that. So I don't think the team right now is there. Now they can be. Teams outperform what's on their roster all the time.
Yes.
But we'll see if they do it, my friend. I mean, I don't think the window's closed, but I certainly don't come into the league into the season at this point right now and say they're one of the very best teams in football. All they have to do is, handle their business. So it is what it is. We'll see what they're able to do.
You think Devontae's going to give you a better 4 years moving forward than what AJ did the previous 4?
No, I don't. No, AJ had, what did he have, 5,500 yards or something in that ballpark in the last 4 years? I mean,
and 2 14-win teams were on that thing too.
Earlier this summer, for anybody who watched our programming over the summer, I pulled up the stats of AJ Brown 4 years in Philadelphia. I mean, he was third in the league. And now I think people have attached to this whole drop narrative. I was looking up the drop rates. He's a bottom 3 drop rate guy in the NFL.
He was third.
Drops do not make his career. They're a small blip on the radar. So
Devontae had a higher rate.
Yeah, he did. And Devontae's a pretty sure-handed guy. So AJ, look, Sills, I don't know. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But here today, a day removed, I wish we were operating like the Rams this summer. Everybody, we're getting back first-round picks. The Rams are giving away first-round picks so they can get great players, so they can maximize their window of opportunity to go and win big. I'm a guy that appreciates risk in life. I think life inherently is a risk, and you got to take risk if you want to achieve great things. The Eagles were on the brink. Now, again, AJ wanted out. How do you fix that? I get that part of it, but we'll see how they handle it, my friend. New offense. You hear Devontae Smith got interviewed today, and Dave Spadaro, who is actually the guy who works for the Eagles, he asked him, how much different is this offense? Is it as drastically different, as we're making it out to be? And Devontae looked at him and said, it's different. And then he was asked to expand on that and what that meant. And he said, I don't know yet. But again, his initial answer was, it's different. So you got a different offense. Maybe that helps. Maybe it hurts. You have a lesser crop of talent from a skill position standpoint. Your offensive line's another year older. Your running back's another year older. Dallas Goedert's another year older. Eli Stowers, as good as he looked pretty good today. I saw a couple of videos of him catching passes. Guy looks like a wide receiver to me. So are they going to split him out? Or are they going to put his hand in the dirt and line him up as a tight end? I don't know.
He barely started at Vandy.
Yeah, so we'll see, man. They're going to have to make some big moves. They're going to have to. A lot of players are going to have to play a lot better this year for them to be a better offense and to be a championship caliber offense. So we'll see how it unfolds, man.
I like the balls of the Rams too. They've only had 3 first-round picks since 2016. Yeah. They don't give a shit about that future conversation. Look at what they did, too, on quarterbacks. Jared Goff took them to the Super Bowl. He was a number 1 overall pick. You know what they said? That fucking guy wasn't good enough. They traded his ass. By the way, Goff's reinvented himself, so to speak, a little bit in Detroit. He's done a nice job. He got to another NFC title game up there with the Lions against the 49ers. And Stafford improved what Sean McVay and the Rams thought he would do. I mean, I love the way they think. Stan Kroenke is the best sports owner in football. I didn't say the best NFL owner. I said the best sports owner. He's won championships in every single sport that his teams. He owns the Avalanche, he owns the Nuggets, he owns Arsenal, and he owns the Rams.
That's a pretty impressive ownership.
And they've all won in the last 5 years.
The way I view that is there's multiple ways to do it. I mean, look, the Rams have been aggressive for a while with their first-round picks. The Eagles have used their first-round picks, and both of them have a ton of success. I think the Eagles edge them out in wins and Super Bowls in the last decade. So the Eagles are right there. I mean more in the moment right now.
Yeah, Les Snead, Kevin Demoff want to do it today.
Like, I don't have a problem with the Eagles' team-building philosophy. No. They've done that exceptionally well. I just more think, I think Howie's more regrouping right now than he is going for it.
Yes.
I really do. That's what I think. I see Prince asked me, who would we have gone for? I think it's a fair question. I mean, Prince, I'm more expressing my thought process on it rather than trying to tell you I have all the answers. I don't have all the answers, and I don't know. Maybe you're right, Prince. Maybe there wasn't anything else to do.
What did the Rams do that the Eagles didn't do? They went and got Myles Garrett, and they went and got Trent McDuffie.
Well, apparently the Eagles were in on Myles Garrett. They just didn't want Jalen Carter over Jared Verse, which is telling.
Which we said yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. And by the way, they just – it wasn't that they hated Carter. They wanted an edge. They coveted the edge. Unlike Dallas, Dallas not getting an edge back, they had to go out and try – they ended up getting Rashad Gary in the offseason here. The Browns wanted an edge rusher. They didn't want Carter. I'll say it one more time to you, though, dude. That's the 3rd time that Carter's name has been brought up in a trade. Now, he's not being traded for Hamburger Helper.
No, it's Micah Parsons and Myles Garrett. Yeah.
Parsons, Garrett. So, but still, what do you make of that? What do you make of his name being brought up in a trade for 3 times in the last year and a half?
I like that. I mean, I like the aggression, like a lot of people were the Rams traded away. Great.
Are they committed on Carter?
Well, were the Rams not committed on Jared Verse, or did they see an opportunity to get better? I don't think it's as not much of a knock on Carter as you're making it out to be. Now, I do think it maybe sheds a light that they're not as sold as we would have thought they would be at this time, and that's obviously because of Jalen's
I'm
play.
surprised.
Well, it's because of his play last year. He struggled. Obviously, I think it was more shoulder related than anything, but it does still bring concern when you're talking about giving a guy $35+ million or whatever that contract might look like. But I don't view that as much of an indictment on Carter as some. I mean, Jared Verse is not a lesser player.
No.
Because he was traded yesterday for Myles Garrett.
No.
Like, if you're Jared Verse, you're almost going to say
Vic wanted him over Q. If you remember in the thing, remember the presser, he was talking about him. He goes, hey, he was taken. And they landed on a great player in Q. Remember? Vic even said they loved the player.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Jared Verse, you might be sitting there like, man, the only guy they trade me for is Myles Garrett. I'm on a good trajectory right now. So
that's right.
I don't think it's a knock on Carter, but I do think they're wondering, they got to see it. But look, if Carter has a good year this year, he'll be getting paid. It actually wouldn't surprise me if they got the deal done now this summer, because AJ's now off the books. I think because maybe there might be some questions about the Eagles' philosophy or how committed they are right now. I could see that. You
might get a hometown discount there because of that. And you might have Drew Rosenhaus going, hey, take the $29 million right now.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, me too. I made that.
I don't think so.
I made that up here. All right, dude. Unlike your boy, I love this shit. All right, so we're going down this lane here. So Hassan Reddick's side piece is, he's having a gumat on the side, and supposedly A.J. Brown, the whole little love triangle, goes to Hurts here. By the way, Deshaun Jackson came out and said he believes it's 60-40, that it's football 60-40 off the field, that there was some rift in the conversation inside the locker room there. I'll tell you what, it makes a lot of sense on why Reddick ended up dealt the way he did.
Yeah.
Remember, we were all going, you got rid of a guy with 27 sacks?
I know.
In 2 years, we were all going like, why? Because, and to say Vic didn't like him, Vic didn't even know who Adoree Jackson was. I goes, yeah, I thought I knew who the player was, but I never seen him. And you're like, Vic doesn't look at that shit. So what do you make of off the field stuff? Is that Jalen's responsibility to fix issues and to listen players' issues to try to rectify problems in his locker room?
So, I mean, look, I think there's a lot of different ways to think about this story. I saw it. I'm not sure I believe it. I'm fine to talk about it. I'm not sure that I believe the story. All the same people who tell me the 10 straight reports from, guys who are in the building are fake are all the ones telling me that the Twitterverse has now uncovered the deep, dark secrets of A.J. Brown, Hassan Reddick, and Jalen Hurts. Like, I'm not really taking that bait, but I'll say this. If it's true, the way that A.J. Brown the way that Jalen Hurts handled it is commendable. That's see, this is where I love Jalen Hurts. Like, AJ, you really want Jalen Hurts to be the mediator in your problem with some chick and Hassan Reddick? Like, if I'm Jalen Hurts, I think about it the same way as him. Dude, you guys handle what you need to handle. I don't give a rat's ass. I'm not talking to anybody about it. I'm not going to anybody about it. Who cares? I got a championship to win. And this is where I love the Jalen Hurts mentality, because it's exactly how I would have approached it. Again, I don't know if the story's even true, but I just don't know why people have this thought process that Jalen Hurts needs to be, the detective on the team, the communicator on the team, the psychiatrist on the team, the relationship coach on the team. It's like, bro, he's the quarterback of the football team. He needs to set the direction of the team on the field and make sure those problems in the locker room don't become problems on the football field. So I don't agree that Jalen should have handled that differently. Again, I want to say I don't know that I believe that whole story, but if it was, I'm good with the way Jalen handled it. For those two, for Hassan and AJ, hey, man, I don't know. You guys do what you want to do with the women in your life. I don't really care. It's not up to me. It's not for my thought process.
Okay, so you go there with that, and I'm going here with this. Well, then that's Nick Sirianni's fucking responsibility.
I can buy that.
Okay.
I can buy that.
Fucking take care of your locker room. And you know how they took care of it? He ran to fucking Howie Roseman and they blew out Hassan Reddick off the team to think.
And now they blew out A.J. Brown.
Yeah, and now they blew out A.J. Brown. That's how you handled that? If that story's true, that's how you handled it? That's an L for Nick. That's a fucking L for Nick.
I'm good with that, too.
I'm being told that he is the captain of the way he handles that environment in that room and all that. If a player has a problem and he goes to Nick and says, this guy's banging my girlfriend. Hey, look, sometimes guys are mature like your boy Jalen, and sometimes guys aren't. You can't just run away from personality if you're a head coach, Zander.
Especially if you're a player's coach. You know, if we've lost 2 players who are meaningful, very good players,
yes,
because that locker room had, I agree with you. It would be more on Nick to me than on Jalen. I agree.
That locker room environment, if there's any bullshit in it, the one job that you guys, not just you, but everyone keeps telling me, that's Nick's haven. That's what Nick is in there for.
All right, I have one pushback, though. Can I have one pushback?
Sure, please.
Hassan Reddick trade was before the Super Bowl in 24. And Jalen and AJ as men, whether it happened or not, I don't know. But with their differences, which AJ spoke on now with Maria Taylor, that they've obviously are not the same relationship. With those differences, they did go and achieve what the team collectively needs to achieve. Now, maybe AJ wasn't happy about that. But as the leader of the football team, Jalen Hurts technically handled it correct. I'm not worried about my stats. I'm not worried about my yards. I'm not worried about my pass attempts. I'm worried about the Philadelphia Eagles winning football games at a high level and going and winning the Super Bowl. And they did just that. AJ was the one who had a problem with that style.
Can I give a little bit also of an opinion of how I think AJ saw that? If this guy won't stand up for teammates that are having issues inside the locker room, and he only gives a shit about the direction of the football team, this is maybe why the teammates in that locker room all gravitated to AJ, because the locker room was all about the players. I've never heard a player say one bad fucking thing about AJ Brown, and I still haven't, and I guarantee you I won't hear anything negative about him in that locker room. And my question would come back then is, okay, you're right. And by the way, I'm not going to blame Jalen Hurts for one bit of who's banging who. I agree with that. Dude, I don't give a shit. What is this? Some sort of epiphany that guys cheat on their wives in an NFL locker room and have gourmands on the side? Bro, this is not like a groundbreaking thing. Guys have that. And at the end of the day, I don't care. So I think that's more with Jalen. I don't know if it's leadership or just the right attitude like this. Zander, I don't give a shit about that stuff where you guys are. I don't really care. So that would be kind of like my spin on that. Like, I don't give a shit. But I blame Nick. I don't know about blame. I put the focus on Nick on that because that's his locker room.
Well, that's his burden. I agree with that.
That's his environment, right?
It is. I mean, look, you could make an argument that Nick has.
Nobody wants to come home to a shitty house because there's a bad.
But can't you make an argument, Sills, that he has handled it well because of how much winning the team has been able to have still through all of this controversy and whatever you want to talk about with the women or whatever? So, look, there's a lot of different ways to look. My problem with it is that we've lost.
Of losing a good player now, too, though.
That's my problem with it. Like, if this is true and this is why AJ's not here, yeah, all right, somebody should have handled this better because Mekhi Lemon and Devontae Smith is not AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. I don't care who you are, what you're selling me, or what your thought process is. It's just not. So I agree with that part of it, but no problem at all with the way Jalen Hurts allegedly handled this situation. I mean, what? Like, I'd even ask AJ, and I'm a fan of AJ. I do not look at him. I like the guy. I think he's going to have a tremendous year in New England. What did you want Jalen to do? What do you want him to do? Dude, handle your business. If you got a girl, handle your business. I don't need AJ. I don't need Jalen Hurts to now be the guy who handles my relationship with another player because a woman came between us. Like, again, Jalen Hurts is not a psychiatrist. Jalen Hurts is not a marital counselor. Jalen Hurts is not a lawyer. Jalen Hurts is the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, let him do his damn job.
Quinyon Mitchell today said that he is going to miss the battles with his big brother and that he would help him every single practice and every single time he got on the field together. He goes, and that's my big brother, and he will be missed.
Well, A.J. Brown helped make Quinyon Mitchell an all-pro player.
Devontae Smith, paraphrase on A.J. Brown trade, business is business, going to miss the brotherhood we all shared on the football field. Here's Jordan Mailata on A.J. Brown trade. Yes, we can move on now. I think most of us that have been here for the last 6 weeks, we have moved on just from we have enough to worry about getting over last year and then coming in here and learning a brand new scheme and new concepts. I disagree with a lot of people in Zander. I disagree. Well, I think you've changed your boat, so I won't throw you into this. This is not a subtle change. This is an overhaul of how they're going to approach that passing and run game this coming season, because you can hear Mailata's tone right here by what he's saying. Hey, I got more important things to worry about right now than worrying about AJ. I got to worry about a new scheme. I got to worry about new blocking techniques. It sounds terrible. Thank God it's over. It's a slow pain of he's out now. Is he here or is he not? We didn't really know. And that really wasn't our focus as a team. Our team is especially on offense, but we've got to keep these wheels moving. We got new guys coming in. We got rookies coming in again. We build that and we build the culture back each and every single year. That's Jordan Mailata on this thing here too. So obviously there is no question. This offense is a complete overhaul, dude. I mean, you're learning new fundamentals. You're learning new schemes. How much does that concern you?
Well, I mean, we've kind of known that this was going to be what they were going to try and do. Obviously, the offense didn't.
We didn't know what level, though, of what.
Yeah, and it seems like, I mean, look, it is still June, so it's kind of all talk, and talk is cheap. I think everybody can agree to that in life. Talk is cheap. But, look, was the offense good enough last year for you to say keep it? The team's success was strong. Was the offense good enough the last year or even 2 years?
2 years
for you to say keep it?
Even in
we can compare it to broadcasting. If you have a style for a first segment and it fails every day or every year, or it's the bottom of the rank, are you going to continue with that? No, you're probably going to look to shuffle it, right? Shuffle it up, change it up, do something different. So I have no problem with them changing the offense. I have concerns that what they're implementing doesn't necessarily fit the personnel. I think there is merit to somebody saying, are they subtly pushing Jalen Hurts out the door? Think about it. You get rid of his best weapon. You put him in an offense that's really doesn't accentuate the talents of the player. You know, forget him never playing in it. I'm talking about he has a skill set as a player, and this offense is not fit around that skill set. That's my problem with it, you know, and I hope he can prevail through it. I think Jalen will. It won't be for lack of effort or trying or work ethic or any of those things. I think that Jalen always checks all those boxes, but I do wonder, you know, the other thing they're doing is Sills is like, you know, I brought up the point a little bit ago about fired his quarterback coach, Gobin Deshay. I brought up the point a little bit ago about wanting the Eagles to be all in right now, you know, and maybe there wasn't a receiver out there to trade for, or maybe there wasn't a move that was as easy to make to replace A.J. Brown with a better guy. But Jalen Hurts has consistently been a 1-2 receiver quarterback. He's not the quarterback that throws the ball to wide receiver 3, 4, 5. Jordan Love in the Green Bay, that guy throws the ball to 12 targets a game. So it's like their replacement for AJ is like better depth. And I'm like, all right, that's good, but is now your assumption that Jalen Hurts is going to just start to throw to wide receiver 3, 4, and 5 more? I mean, I don't even know how good of a player Jahan Dotson is because we didn't throw the ball to him.
Dude, here, let me, that goes into this question here, what you just said. I'm more concerned about wide receiver 2 now. Like Zander, these guys are in here. You know what they said? They believe that Mekhi Lemon's going to be a 90 catch, 900-yard, 7-touchdown guy. And I went like this: Devontae Smith coming out of college and Mekhi Lemon coming out of college. Who do you think was a better talent? Devontae Smith 10 times.
No, it's not.
What's the better talent?
It's not.
And
even
you're
close.
making the assumption that Mekhi Lemon is going to have 900 yards receiving and 90 catches. Devontae Smith was a special guy coming out of college.
Yeah, not even close. Not even close. Now, I'm not going to put a ceiling on Mekhi Lemon as a player. I think he can be a great player, but you're right.
But it's going to take time.
People can go back and listen to John McMullen's reports when Devontae Smith was first drafted. All right, one of the very first things he said is, that's the most polished wide. Remember, AJ Brown wasn't here at the time. That's the most polished wide receiver I've seen in Philly yet. John started covering this team in 2016. So, Devontae was extremely polished and pro-ready coming out of college. Now Lemon can get there, I think, but he's not that guy yet. And again, Sills, you saying that, we can look at Devontae's year one. I think he had 9-16. And he was the receiver number 1 on the team. So Lemon's the receiver number 2. Like, what are people expecting to see from Lemon this year? Are you expecting him to match the production of Devontae Smith?
Yeah, they are.
Devontae was the 1.
Yeah.
Well, I think
I agree. I don't either. I think it's more like between 600 and 700 yards. That would be a good year for him.
Yeah, that's where I think the numbers should be. So look, they've gone to the committee approach to replace. Not my favorite thing, but it kind of comes back to one of our original points of the offseason. The 2026 Philadelphia Eagles will go as far as Jalen Hurts can take them. Now, he's going to need help. He's going to need a good offensive line, like every quarterback does. He's going to need strong play from his receivers, like every quarterback does. He's going to need a good running game, like every quarterback does. But if you're talking about taking that next step, Jalen's got to go to a level this year that we've never seen him go to yet. And I think he knows that, honestly. I do. I think he knows that too. So I'm hopeful that we see it, but we will see. We'll see what it looks like.
Do you think most fans right now in Philadelphia are thinking about how this thing has ended more than the greatness of what it brought?
Yeah, maybe right now. I think they'll look back on it properly, though. I mean, that was the best 4-year run in maybe in Eagles history. The best condensed 4 years of 4 calendar football
with
seasons,
the signature wins,
with the signature win, with the Super Bowl, with an NFC title. I mean, that was probably the best 4 years maybe in the team's history.
It's better than Andy's 4.
Yeah, I mean, Andy went to a lot of NFC championship games.
5 in a row.
5, right? So that was pretty impressive too. But yeah, it's going to be tough to do, man. It's going to be tough to do.
And 2 14-win teams in there too, right, by the way. Correct?
Look, I mean, yeah. And look, here's like a good point. It's like Mannion being unproven. I'm going to leave that aside here in this. But, this offense struggled to throw the ball with Kellen Moore, who had a lot more experience than Mannion, and it was a better roster.
Yep.
That was the year the offensive line was the best.
A healthier roster.
Healthier, better, more talent. So, like, I just think people got to set their expectations properly here that Kellen Moore struggled with better players and a more talented roster with a lot more experience as a play caller. I would just temper expectations this year. It feels to me like Howie's in more of one of those rebuild on the fly type of deals. Rebuild is not the right word. Retool on the fly type of deals where you maybe don't go Super Bowl contender for a year or two, and then you retool and you get back in the conversation. It feels like that kind of is happening to me right now. Or
do you think Howie Roseman won this trade? Or too early to tell?
Well, his team got worse. Yes or no?
Yes.
So it's hard for me to say he won the trade. If I put the trade in a vacuum and move that aside, I think it was a pretty strong return. I really do. I said that yesterday. I mean, you trade a 1 and a 3 for the guy 4 years ago, and then you get a 1 and a 5 for him on the way out the door at 29 years old. Like, I feel fine about that. I just am not happy about the team being worse.
The only reason that looks good for Roseman is because Roseman's under no pressure to have his job blown out. And that's why he can do 28, 29, 30, and he can make that comment of first round to first round, because every general manager in the NFL, dude, you're not pulling that deal in Los Angeles with the Rams for 29 or 28. That's not happening. They're doing it today. They're making moves for their football team today.
Well, remember that the Rams are an interesting team to bring up, because did you see the report about AJ, which I would put in the column of a win for Howie Roseman in terms of the return for this player? Not only has the statistical output of the player declined, but the Rams pulled out of the trade conversation with the Eagles because they didn't like the medicals on his knee. And you've heard that quite a bit. So again, I don't think that means AJ's not going to have a good year. I think he'll prevail. I think he'll work through it. I'm just saying, you get back a 1 and 3 for a 29-year-old wideout. I think you're pretty happy with it.
Why do you think you bring up the knees and stuff like that, especially on a 3-year contract? Why, or potentially extending him? Why do you think they bring it up? You know what they're worried about? They're worried about the back end of the deal. Like, is this guy going to be able to fulfill the contract that we're trading him for? Are we going to see like him drop off like we did DeAndre Hopkins? DeAndre Hopkins was really a great third down receiver. All of a sudden, dude, he got hurt. Never the same guy. Julio Jones, that happened to. Remember with his Achilles and his ankles and all that shit? He was never the same player. He went from like a 1,200-yard guy. All of a sudden, he went down to a 700-yard guy. So you got to kind of concern yourself with that shit, especially when you're getting your 28, 29. I get it. But again, too, did you hear the report? The Rams have been calling the Browns every month since 2022 on Myles Garrett.
I believe it.
It was like a check. So that makes me think Howie was calling the Browns every month on Myles Garrett, too.
I'm sure he was.
You think
they wanted a young edge rusher in return. The Eagles didn't have the guys. Nolan and Jalix they're not Jared Verse guys. They're not even close.
No. And by the way, when you trade for a Ferrari, you got to trade a Bugatti. I think Eagle fans think you get to trade an Acura Legend to try to get a Ferrari. Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt. You're like, guys, you're not even getting in a conversation for Jared Verse on that. I mean, and the way the Browns look at it, they probably look at it like they got 3 1s.
I would have given another one, though.
Yeah, but you got 3 1s with Verse, a proven guy, and 2 first-round picks.
No, they got a 1. They got 1 first-round pick.
1 first-rounder.
So that's what I'm saying. I would have given Nolan and 2 first.
Probably the reason why they didn't get a second one was probably because of the salary of that. What is it, 41 that he's making, something like that? Remember, they got to pick up that 41 million too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to say the Eagle fans want to trade a Chrysler 300. I see it down here.
For a Phantom. Yeah, no Phantoms for us, Kyle.
No doubt.
No.
So you don't think the Super Bowl window's closed?
I think it's close to being closed, but I think it's look with Howie Roseman, I think can get propped open at any moment very quickly.
Yes.
So I'll preface it by saying that, but I think it's more shut right now, or at least the opening is smaller now than it's been in previous years. I don't think it's shut completely. No, I just think it's harder to envision a world where this team is going to the Super Bowl with Devontae and Mekhi Lemon and some of the changes they've made. That they can do it. But I think they're going to have to add some players again.
We are going to have Howard Eskin at the bottom of the hour. We're going to read the super chats here in a second, but I want to throw this at you: top 5 NFC teams. You tell me where you are. I got Rams, Seahawks, 49ers, and I think you can make a tie for 4 and 5. Eagles and Detroit. Rosters. You can make. You don't have You don't have like an Aiden Hutchinson as an edge. You are hoping, okay? You are hoping that Carter returns back. What would be your top 5 NFC teams?
Rams are in there. Seahawks are in there. I put the Niners somewhere around 5.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles are probably right on the brink. I don't know that I feel that they're 5 yet.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think they're right there, though. Lions are probably in there. I think the Packers could be better this year. I don't think the Packers are better than the Birds, though. And I don't even think the Lions are better than the Birds. Although you can make the argument for the Lions. They got a great running back, great receivers, good running game, good offensive line. They got a lot of things here. I think the Eagles are right around 5. Bears is a good one, Leon. Leon, you know what my concern with them is right now? If you go back, they finally got good players on their offensive line. And if you remembered, Leon, Jalen Carter got tormented in that game versus the Bears in Philly last year. I think it was Black Friday, if I remember correctly. Well, you know who tormented Jalen Carter? It was Drew Dahlman, who retired. And now the Bears are back trying to figure out what to do. Now, I think they've signed somebody. They signed somebody pretty good to replace him. But I think the Bears, you can make an argument. Not huge on their receiving core. Like Caleb, like Ben Johnson a lot. Yeah, I mean, I think the NFC, I think the Eagles are right there. Dallas is probably 7 or 8, maybe.
Tim McManus just said this. This is going to be a unique situation where he not only loses his top target, but he's transitioning into a new system that is going to be the most dramatic offensive overhaul that he has faced. There is a lot of stiff wind that he's going to be pushing through. Tim McManus laid out the tough test that Jalen Hurts faces heading into this upcoming season. How's that for you? They're even preparing people inside that building and telling folks here, boy, what a year for Jalen Hurts. You take the top guy away in your passing game and you're changing the passing game. You're basically trying to teach him Portuguese.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Learn Portuguese in 50 days. This guy better get Rosetta Stone like Zeke's going to have to need when he goes to Italy.
Yeah.
You better get yourself some Rosetta Stone, bro.
Well, here's a quote. Ready? This ain't no Rosetta Stone here.
That's right.
Here's Jordan Mailata on Sean Mannion. Sean is an evil genius. This guy knows ball. If I were to lock the 3 smartest people in the building in a room together, Sean would be there. He'd actually probably be by himself. I like Sean Mannion. I like Sean Mannion when they hired him. He's gonna have a learning curve. He's gonna have a learning curve. Will the Eagles be patient enough to sit through that learning curve? I don't know. But how about that for some praise for Sean Mannion?
Who has a better year, you think? Christian Parker or Sean Mannion?
Christian starting at 31. They were the worst, second worst defense in football, weren't they?
And schooled by Vic. Well, don't worry. Your passing offense was 23. Their defense was 31st. So both offenses blow out loud. So, I mean, hey, it's not like
you made me choke on my drink.
Fancy Cokes again?
No, I got just a signature select.
So,
that's that Walmart brand, I think, or Signature Select. That might be that Target brand.
Holy God, this guy's drinking Busch beer.
Yeah, that's worse. That's like Natty Light, dude. That's
shit, man. This guy's drinking
the bottom dregs of seltzer water right there.
Holy cow, man. He's drinking like Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yeah, exactly. Give me Mannion. Give me Mannion.
Okay. Mannion. Boy, I'll tell you what, that Jordan Mailata. Hey, did you see that thing about Vic?
What? That he won the award thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is that award?
That's a fucking huge award. That's the top, like, that kind of puts you in the Hall of Fame kind of in a way when you win that assistant award. I think it's the Paul Zimmerman award that he won. That's a big time award, man, for assistant coaches in pro football. Like all those guys, all those assistant coaches, like I'm not sure it goes into the like Hall of Fame stuff, but it gives you a nod to where they could eventually nominate you into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So congratulations, you won the Paul Zimmerman Award. That's a big deal, dude.
Yeah, that's good. Good for Vic. He deserves it. Do you see what the Broncos, just did with Pat Surtain?
No.
I love this. I hope the Eagles start to use more of this. I think this is such a good way to keep players just playing great. So the Broncos and their star corner, Pat Surtain, have agreed on a small contract adjustment, giving him a $5 million raise now for this year and a chance to make $5 million more next year if he earns a Pro Bowl or an All-Pro nod this year. I love little incentives like that, you know?
So is he making 36 now?
I'd do that for Jalen Hurts this year. I'll fully guarantee your money and give you up to 58 next year if you go and be an all-pro quarterback this year. That's a great thing to do.
Agents don't like that, though.
Of course they don't. They want long-term deal. But he just signed 4 years, $96 million, which was at the time the biggest deal. Yes. But now you got, the dude in LA who just got traded, Trent McDuffie, making 31.
So what's his base?
I don't know what his base is.
Patrick Surtain, fully guaranteed.
His base will probably be almost 30 now.
Yeah. Wow.
He's a sick player, Pat Surtain.
Dude, he is, man.
He's a sick player.
By the way, guess who drafted him?
Vic Fangio.
Vic Fangio drafted his ass.
Yeah, he's a sick player.
He is, man. Hey, dude, go do me a favor, Z. Go over to the Patriots social media right now.
I know. I see it. They're glazing this guy, AJ Brown. You could tell they haven't had a receiver like this in a while. Holy crap.
Look at this. Happy day for one. Look at this, AJ.
They put up more photos of AJ Brown today. You want me to piss Eagle fans off? I got to take. Ready?
Yeah.
The New England Patriots have a sick logo and a sick uniform.
They do.
They do, dude.
They do.
They do. It's badass. Oh man, dude, this glaze is diabolical.
Dude.
Holy crap. Oh, they got AJ. He's catching the pass. There you go, AJ.
You should start from the beginning.
Look, there he is. Wait, what else they got on here?
Go from they posted the whole shit.
I know this ain't heaven, but it's close to it. AJ Brown and Patriots. Oh my gosh.
Did you hear him do this? I walked in, I had to call my mom. I looked around and I said, oh my God, I'm a Patriot. And I'm going oh my God, is that sending it in?
Look at they're posting him walking up the hill. Dude, they're like oohing and on over this guy.
They are going nuts over him.
They are oohing and on over AJ Brown. I do think you want me to piss Eagle fans off some more?
Yeah.
I think 1,500 plus.
Yeah. 100 catches too.
Yeah.
I bet you the Patriots have a top 5 passing offense this year too.
Well, maybe. They got a tough schedule, dude.
Hey, you're still playing the AFC East, though. Remember that.
That's true.
I mean, Drake May, all he has to do is do what? Throw for 400 yards in every game?
Do everybody hate the Patriots' uniforms?
No, I like the Patriots. I actually like the old ones, though, with that fucking logo.
Look at Prince crying. Zander's been having shit takes since the week started.
I can't handle it. That's why. Z, let's read these supers. We got a bunch of them here. Howard Eskin's going to join us. You know what? I think Howard went on 97.5 the other day. You know what he said? It won't matter, AJ, being here or not here because the quarterback's still here.
Oh, let's see what he says when he comes on here. Here's Roll Philly. What up, Roll? Good to see you, brother. I haven't seen you in a bit. JD said AJ is going to a proven QB. How is May more proven than Hurts? May was awful in the playoffs and Super Bowl. Yeah, I don't really agree with that. Come on. I mean, you can have problems with Jalen's style of play, but Jalen's a proven quarterback.
Dude, I think he's talking more about he's a 4,400 passing quarterback and a 30 touchdown guy, not proven like the postseason wins. Hey, in his second year, he did get to a Super Bowl. I mean, I don't think that's awful.
Yeah, you don't get that year 8 in the NFL as a starting quarterback if you're not a proven player. So I think Drake is a good player too. I don't need to shit on one.
I think he's got a lot more to do.
Well, why is that? Why is that such a mentality of people? And the only way to give somebody credit,
you have to tear the other guy down.
Absolutely shit on somebody else.
Well, that's because it's what it is.
I don't see it like that.
I don't either.
All right, let's go. Where's Twizzler? Because he's crying, saying we missed his super chat. Did we miss it? I don't see it, Twiz.
He's lying.
He's lying out his ass like he always is.
He's fucking lying.
Here's Fleming. What up, Fleming? What fortune cookie response do you think Jalen gave AJ when he finds out he's Hassan's Eskimo brother? Sharing is caring, AJ. Teammates make sacrifices.
Oh man, I don't agree with that. I don't give a shit who you're humping. I have no caring. I want to win ball games, dude.
Where's this Twiz super? Because I do want to get it. If he's
moaning, I'm sure.
Oh, look, it's not. It's lit up. We didn't get it, dude.
No, he's lying.
2:18, 18 minutes into your program. Get your head out of your ass, Sileo. We don't have a better wide receiver, but we could have better chemistry, Sills. Oh, okay. You tell me when chemistry is more important than talent.
Oh, this was at the very beginning?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, here's my boy Roll Philly again. Roll, thanks for the support. He says, I'm not going to say Mekhi Lemon and Smitty can't be better than AJ Smitty. We don't know. Last time I saw AJ on the field, it wasn't all that pretty. I agree. That's fair.
Again, see, people look at the ending right now and not the greatness that he brought to your team. Okay.
Here is Brian Pumper Diamond.
Hey, Pump, we haven't seen you in a bit. You've been hiding out.
All right, here's is that Johnny Wilson on his profile picture? I think the profile picture of me with the bald head was better than that, Pump. Brian Pumper brought this up 2 weeks ago. Acknowledge the greatness of Brian Pumper, Zander. Haas and AJ are Eskimo buddies. Dude, I don't care if they're Eskimo buddies. I really could care less. I couldn't care less. Here's Twiz. 2 days in a row. Shut up and look, bozo. Fair enough, Twiz. Fair enough. I got you, though. Here's Mikey Shreds. 11 teams the Pats played last year had their head coaches fired, LOL. 1,500 yards for AJ, and the Pats will not make the playoffs, but AJ will be happy. They do have a tough schedule.
Yes. They open up with the Seahawks in Seattle.
But come on, AJ's going to have a good year there.
Of course he's going to have a good year because he's got a passing quarterback.
I agree.
I mean, listen, it's funny. You know what? We had Angelo on yesterday, and Angelo texted me and said this, that the Super Bowl window was closed for the Eagles. Before I get Howard up here, you don't think that Super Bowl window's closed, right?
I think it's propped open like this.
It's a little bit. But Howie can reopen it.
That's what I mean. You got Howie. Howie's earned the benefit of the doubt from he's been able. I mean, I don't know another GM in football that went from a Super Bowl winning coach and roster and overturned it almost entirely, and within 3 seasons was back in another Super Bowl. I think Howie's earned the right, so we'll see what he can do. I do think it's a different situation though this summer than it was last summer.
A lot of ball getting dropped in New England. That's not a true comment. Guy had the third least drops in the pro football last year, A.J. Brown. Devontae was 15th in drops, 2.29. Come on, guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to do before you leave? You know what I'm going to do with Howard Eskin? Howard was on the sideline when Hassan Reddick was here. Okay? Sideline reporters know everything, and they hear everything. And I'm going to ask him about that story.
Good one, too.
Shady McCoy, okay, has said that it was 60-40, and one of the reasons why AJ and Reddick and Hurts and all those guys didn't. Howard was on the sidelines for that.
Yeah, and Howard I know heard it. Howard's a good one.
Right. So
not everybody does that job the right way. I'll just say that.
Exactly. That's why they blew that chick out for sure. Hey,
I didn't want to say it, but you did. All right.
Yeah, no, what they did was they blew her out because she sucked doing her job.
I didn't want to say it. All right, Sills, good stuff, man. I'll catch you later.
Appreciate it. Yeah, well, guess what? That's what we do here. We tell the truth there. I don't give a shit if she's a chick or not. She's terrible at her job. And they went like DEI in that whole thing. Let me get a chick in there over Howard here and think that was going to be good and she was going to do her job. She was terrible at her job. I mean, she was like the Aaron Andrews of Philly. Awful at their gigs. All right. Without further ado. So I saw something the other day about Eskin saying the Eagles are going to be the same team without A.J. Brown. And I went, oh, I know where he's going. I guarantee you they didn't follow up the question with, is it because of the stiff quarterback's arm? Only we do that here. He is our friend, and we really admire him, and we love him very much. His name is Howard Eskin, and he joins us now here on the program. Howard, how are you doing? Big day. 24 hours.
Just wonderful. Why? Did anything happen in the last 24 hours?
Oh, I'm in Sillsville right now. This is right up my alley, this whole thing.
What? Did anything happen?
Well, yeah. Well, supposedly a disgruntled player left, and now he says this today. Oh, my God. I'm a Patriot. Can you believe it? I can't believe I had to call my mom to tell her I was a Patriot today. That was A.J. Brown making a comment at his presser today. Give me your takeaway, Howard. Come on, man.
Well, what do you say? You have Howie Roseman say, this was really tough, and I wanted to make sure I took care of him and his family. Since when do you care about him and his family? You care about your football team. That's your family. So that's bullshit. I wanted to take care of him and his family. It's tough losing a great player. I think that's what he said. It's tough losing a great player. What are you talking about? You traded him. You tried the entire offseason. After the pillow talk between Rossini and Vrabel, all this stuff came out. I'm sure that was conversation in the middle of whatever kind of sex they had. But whatever the case, it's like, I'm done with this. What do you expect everybody to say? And AJ, he thanked people and everything's hunky-dory. And, he put out a message to Philadelphia. I'm so done with this, all this drama. And sports talk radio is now a cesspool for drivel. And this is drivel upon drivel. You knew he was gone months ago. Well, you knew he was going after the draft. Once they used the first pick for a wide receiver, you knew he was history. Right. So the best wide receiver on that team is Devontae Smith. Not a question in my mind. The best wide receiver on that team is Devontae Smith.
So you think in the next 4 years, Devontae's going to give you better results than what AJ gave you in the previous 4?
That's a bad question. Genius. Because they're not going to be as good on the offensive line in the next 4 years. They're not going to be as good at running back in the next 4 years, which means whoever the quarterback might be in the next 4 years, they're likely not to be as good at the quarterback in the next 4 years.
So you're saying that 28 pick is to get rid of?
That 28 pick is not that good. The pick that they really wanted was next year because New England's not going to have a good year. So that pick would be good. And if you wanted to trade it, and I think Howie will use that in some kind of trade stuff, he'll still try to use that. But that would be a good pick because I think the Patriots are not going to make the playoffs. They're not going to be anything close to the team they were record-wise this year. That would have been the pick, and that's what he wanted. He wanted a 1 and a 3, and he wasn't getting a 1 and a 3 for a guy, some moron on social media. When I said he's 29-year-old wide receiver, it's only 28. He's 29 this month, I told that moron. He's 29 this month. He's 29 years old. You don't get that much for a 29-year-old wide receiver, figuring he's got, maybe a solid 2 years, possibly 3 years left in his career. You're going to give up a real number one for that. That's really not that good a pick for, it's not a number one pick in the reality of what number one picks are. Yeah. And I think the Patriots the following year will be better.
Yeah.
And you mark my words, the pick in the 27 draft will be higher for the Patriots than it will be in the 28 draft.
That's
higher
right.
meaning lower. Yeah.
That's because they're going to get a weaker schedule the following season.
Correct.
And they're going to have a better year.
Yes, correct.
Going forward here. Howard, let me ask you this. Have you ever heard of anything on the sidelines when you were there covering the Philadelphia Eagles that there was a disgruntled situation between players, Hassan Reddick and A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts? Did you hear anything when you were on the sidelines about how there was some off-the-field issues between the players? Because Deshaun Jackson even came out today and said he thinks it's 60-40 football versus off the field. You've got other people that are making comments about some situations. There was off the field relationships. And even AJ said in an interview with Marie Taylor that, hey, we're just not the same as we were a couple of years ago. Did you ever hear anything that was a storyline behind the scenes with those three guys?
Well, the reason they traded Hassan Reddick, and I got along with the guy. He was a nice enough guy. He went to college locally, with a Temple, and a nice enough guy, but they got rid of him because he wasn't happy about his contract. He was disgruntled with different things. You can kind of throw everything into it if you want to. Was everything, did they have coffee and tea in the morning with each other? No, but that never happens. It's just Hassan Reddick had some challenges with his attitude, and that was the biggest thing. Decent player, above decent player, average to above average player.
He had 27 sacks in 2 years, Howard. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, well, some guys just go. So did who was the guy years ago when they were the dream team in 2000?
Ryan Kerrigan?
No. It was Jason Babin.
Okay.
Jason Babin got all kinds of sacks because all he cared about was sacks, but he didn't stop the run as well. You got to, if you're really good, and the coaches know that by looking at the tape, is it just about sacks? And it's a good thing. Now the game's a little bit different than it was then because you have other people that can stop the run. And the Eagles do on the defensive line have people that can stop the run. But no, I don't always go by sacks because there's other things to it. Is that player also stopping the run, or does he just care about sacks? Jason Babin, nice enough guy, but all he cared about was sacks. That's why he wasn't any good. The dream team. Boy, we go back years.
No doubt. Howard, the 28 pick, though. So you mean to tell me in the next 3 years you get no payoff whatsoever for A.J. Brown?
Yeah, they're going to trade. They're going to use that pick with their pick to trade up if there's a player there. I guarantee you they're going to use that pick
in the 27 draft.
No. Well, they might use it in the 27 draft, but certainly in 28. It will be used in a trade to move up. It will be used in a trade. But again, you don't know what that pick's going to be. You have a pretty good idea when you go into a draft with a pick when you trade it, but you have no idea what that 2028 pick is going to be. You have no idea. I don't think it's, all these tools that are mouthpieces for the Eagles. Oh, Howie Roseman did it again. He's done a good job and he's made some mistakes, and everybody makes mistakes. Even the best general managers make mistakes. I mean, he could have had Justin Jefferson. But you got to move on from that. There was somebody else, really good player he could have, but it happens. You get really good players. You do some good things in the draft, and then you make mistakes. It happens with everybody, but once you win, it looks good. But I don't know that this was, he wanted a number one pick next year and a 1 and a 3. He was in a dream world with that. But you get those tools on national media that build them up. When they give and Howie's not the only one that does
they saw the Waddle deal, and they saw that Waddle returned more investment for the Dolphins when they traded him to Denver. and they just assumed that that was going to play into the AJ trade. And you said it, Howard. This was set up 3 months ago. The only thing that wasn't really debated on was whether or not it was going to be a 27-1 or a 28-1. That just happened over the last 2 weeks on how that came to fruition, whether it was going to be 28 or 27.
If I'm New England, I'd say, hey, you know what, go whatever with yourself, because the Eagles were stuck. There wasn't really a lot. They
lost
teams.
The leverage when they got Lemon. They lost their leverage.
And they absolutely lost their leverage, and they were stuck. They were stuck. So now they have to get rid of them, and they weren't going to get what they wanted for him. I think New England helped them save face, because in the eyes of a lot of media, they got a number 1 pick for AJ Brown. Yeah, 2 years from now, they got a number 1 pick for AJ Brown. So, and I wouldn't be surprised, because Jeffrey Lurie and Robert Kraft are such good friends. And, I don't think they make trades, but they say, hey, listen, we can help each other out. You wanted AJ Brown. We have to look good in this thing. Can you kind of help push this thing along? So they came up with a 28 first-round pick. There was no way it was going to be a 27 first-round pick.
Do you think Jeffrey Lurie had to okay this?
Oh, absolutely. The owner always okays it. Yeah, he always okays. But there was no reason he wouldn't. You knew you were going to get rid of him. Once Diana Rossini started doing whatever she was doing with Vrabel, and she puts it out there, then everybody else climbs on that, and they beat it to death, that he was going to be traded. And that was the one thing that always came up, because obviously she knew by talking to him, whether it was at 2:00 in the morning or whether it was 2:00 in the afternoon, she had the info. She had the info. It's just, boy. But the national reporters, they don't give up sex for information, but what they do is they give up some credibility. Hey, listen, I'll give you this. Howie's not the only guy that calls Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport, but hey, listen, I'll give you this, but can you help me out with this player? I need some more interest in this player. And that the agents do the same thing.
I saw the text chain. Get this. Guess who showed it to me? So Armando Salguero from Outkick, who's on there's a 15-person chain of Rossini, Rappaport, Schefter, the kid from the NFL Network. There's a bunch of guys.
Garofalo, I guess.
Garofalo, all that from up in New York, ESPN. All these guys are on this text. That's why they've got a text with the agents and with the general managers. That's why when you see those deals popping out on when free agency pops, or you see these new deals, the NFL Players Association, Howard, has to okay that. That takes 4 days to okay a contract. So when you see the numbers, you're like, where did he get that from? Well, they got it from the agent.
Yeah, exactly. And they help the agent, and they help the agent kind of push the quality of other players. Hey, listen, I'm not getting much interest in this player. There's only one team that wants him. Can you put out there that so-and-so and so-and-so also has interest in him, to push that other team to give you a little bit more for that player?
Howard, you don't believe in your mind that you think that they got a better wide receiving core today than they did last year.
Yeah, he's a year older. Remember,
Guy Lemon has never caught a football in a pro football game ever, and these other guys are just dudes.
Okay, they're not better, they're not worse. They're just as good.
So
I'm telling you, Devontae Smith is the best. What Devontae Smith keeps his mouth shut, does what he's supposed to.
I'm not going to go there with Devontae. I'm going to ask you. You think Devontae Smith's replacement, which is going to be Mekhi Lemon, you think that guy has 900 yards like he did? And he was a number 1. You think that guy puts up 900 yards and 90 catches this year, Mekhi Lemon, the rookie?
I don't know what the quarterback's going to do with the offensive line being questionable. That's
why when you were asked that question the other day, when you were on 97.5, you weren't looking at whether or not AJ Brown was here. Is the quarterback going to be able to utilize all these weapons? And I'm with you. I'm thinking he's not.
Here's some of the issues. AJ Brown wasn't happy because he was open a lot of times. I saw it, and I saw when he was angry. To his credit, he didn't complain to anybody. He just sat down on the bench and kind of stewed himself. Okay, but you could tell he was angry because he was wide open, and Jalen didn't see him. He finds the openings in the middle of the field. From what I've been watching, Jalen Hurts is not comfortable throwing the ball down the middle of the field. It's reading defenses, it's reading zone coverages. So I don't think he's as comfortable. Let's put it that way. And Sean Mannion, hey, listen, everybody's got to say the right, all these sound bites and all this nonsense. He said in his first news conference with the media, he's got a really strong arm and he's very accurate. And I think I'm paraphrasing that correctly.
Yeah.
I don't know that I think he's got a good arm, but not a really strong arm. And he hasn't shown that he's that accurate.
He's not accurate.
Okay. And then people say to you, well, what do you want him to say? Just say, hey, listen, this guy has won a Super Bowl. So we look at him like that. He's good enough to have won a Super Bowl, and that's what we look at. Don't give me all that nonsense about a strong arm. Tanner McKee, who obviously won't be the starting quarterback, has a stronger arm than Jalen Hurts. But does that make any difference? No, it doesn't make any difference. Jalen Hurts is your starter, and I get it. And he's a good quarterback. Is he great? No. Is he good? Yeah, he's a good quarterback. But
Howard, last week, and you know what? And
you got to get over this AJ Brown, all you people. And Eli, I love you, Dan, but all you people got to get over this AJ Brown obsession with AJ Brown.
The biggest story in the NFL right now, next to Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett is really the story, but AJ Brown gives you more of the negative bullshit. So that's what the story is. It's a story because there are no stories.
Wait a minute. So here's the story. You let that guy walk out of the locker room, and you let that guy walk out of your team knowing your football team is not better. You and I will disagree on that because I don't believe Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown versus Devontae Smith, Mekhi Lemon, and a bunch of dudes is better than what you had as a wide receiving core last year. I don't believe that. But for me, the problem is you just let that guy walk out the door and you don't get compensation for 3 years or 2 years, and you just think you're better going forward into this coming season. Good luck to you with a brand new system, a play caller who's never picked it. He's picked his nose more than he's called a play than picking plays in games.
Well, because they made a mistake. They made a mistaken judgment that they were going to get a number 1 pick next year for A.J. Brown. And that was a mistake. It was never going to happen. Howie tried to build it up. He tried to get the national reporters to build it up. He tried to get all those people to build it up. Everybody, this team wants him. And they throw Jacksonville in there and they throw all these teams in there. Nobody was going to give you a number 1 pick next year for A.J. Brown. Nobody. When's the last time you saw a 29-year-old wide receiver get a number 1 pick? And I don't know about his knees. I mean, I guess he's going to be okay. But is that field in New England is a natural grass field, right? So he won't have to deal.
I think it's both because of the weather up there late. I think it's both. I think it's the natural stuff along with the artificial in there, because again, in Gillette up there, you get 16 inches of snow up there, dude. You know what it's like going up there being on.
Well, if that's the case, then he's got to play on. If there's an artificial surface, that's not good for a player either. So I'm just so over. I'm just so over this AJ Brown obsession. I'm just so. Hey, I didn't say they were a better team. I said they're as good a team, and they're as good a team in that area if the offensive line plays well, which means the running back will help the quarterback be a better quarterback.
Okay, so last week. I text both you and Angelo on this. Howard, what the hell happened to Philadelphia and the balls these people used to have in asking questions? So Sirianni's in front of a microphone Mannion's in front of a microphone, and not one question was asked about a departing star player. How about this right here? Howard, even if you went down this lane and went, hey, what do you think the offense is going to look like without having AJ moving forward and Devontae in the number 1 spot? How come these
No,
people
here's the
don't
way
do
that
their jobs?
here's the way the question could have been asked. How do you going to think this offense is going to look if AJ Brown is not here?
Right.
He says, well, right now he's a Philadelphia Eagle. I said, but your general manager, your president of football operations, whatever his title is trying to trade him. And he can't say, I don't know that, because he does know that. So you got to keep on following and pounding away, and you might get him to slip, and not read off that sheet that his PR guy gives him. I mean, it's a shame. Nick Sirianni can handle himself, but hey, the truth will always set you free. You got to be honest with people, and then they respect what you say. Now all they do is run simple sound bites and say what you want them to say. It's a joke. It really is. It really is a joke. I mean, Howie Roseman, yeah, I wanted to do what was right for him and his family. No, you wanted to do what was right for your team. For your team. That's what your job is.
Howard, who buys that a general manager of an NFL football team is not going to – he said always there's 2 things that he got caught in a lie, Howie Roseman. One, he's going to do what's best for the player. I could have swore at the combines, I heard him say, I'm going to always do what's best for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
I never heard that before, say I'm going to do what's best for the player.
It's nonsense. It makes AJ happy. I can't believe he's had that carpet in his house since he came to the Eagles. Because when you come to a new team, you're excited about that new team. He's going to have a Patriots rug there. Nobody saw that nobody heard there was a Patriots. Nobody heard any of that stuff. Don't you think his teammates would have said something, especially, and they played the Patriots? Give me a break. Give me a break. I mean, Amazon delivers in 24 hours. So he got it. He got it in 24 hours.
Howard, does this make you pause on Jalen Carter? This is the 3rd time his name has been brought up in a trade, because supposedly Jalen Carter's name was brought up and he wanted to throw some draft picks at Cleveland to try to get Myles Garrett. The Rams and the Browns coveted an edge rusher. That's why they got Jared Verse. Does that bug you now? Micah Parsons, Max Crosby, and now Myles Garrett. Jalen Carter's name has been brought up 3 times in the last year and a half when it comes to trading the player away.
Well, but you're getting good. If you're getting Myles Garrett.
No. And that is the caveat to this. We're talking about top shelf people here.
Yeah, and that's the difference. So you have to trade something,
yes,
not just a pick. The Rams, I mean, nobody gives the Rams enough credit with what they've done. What's his last name?
Les Snead. There's 2 dudes in the building, Les Snead and Kevin Demoff. Howard, in the last 11 years, they've only had 3 first-round picks.
I know.
That's wild.
Because they use them to make their team better all the time. Yes. And that's really what it comes down to, because you don't know what that pick's going to be. I give him a lot of credit. They've done a lot of good things. And their team is now, they're the best team in the NFC. I don't think anybody would dispute that.
Correct.
They're the best team in the NFC. Now, does the best team always win? They should have been in the Super Bowl last year. That was ridiculous the way they lost that game to Seattle. It was ridiculous.
Absolutely. Howard, do you think the Philadelphia Eagles have helped or hurt Jalen Hurts this offseason here?
I don't think they've hurt him. If you get if AJ's going to complain that not getting, he doesn't quite say he's not getting the ball, but when he complains about the offense, it's because he's not getting the ball when he's open, not just throw it to him every time. It's when he's open. And no, I don't think they're worse. Have they helped Jalen Hurts? Jalen Hurts has to help Jalen Hurts. And they're trying to, they're hoping the offensive line can be solid. They're hoping Lane Johnson can come back from that injury. They hope the 2 guys, the center and the guard, Dickerson and Cam Jurgens, get that stem cell whatever it is that they got helps their injuries. I don't know that it will. Jordan Mailata, who's a great guy, and he had a real good year 2 years ago, not as good last season. They hope he's better. So if those people are playing at a high level, then Jalen Hurts will be able to play at a higher level. It's just Saquon Barkley has got to get past the first level. And when he does, he's amazing. But he's not the kind of guy like some of these runners that just plow
Jamar
through the
Gibbs
first.
or Bijan Robinson, them dudes, man, are
Yeah.
just special people. So you think he's still got gasoline in the tank?
I think he does once he gets past the first level. Yeah, I do, because keeps himself in shape. But you always got to wonder when the running back's legs aren't going to be as good as the legs we've seen previously.
Absolutely here. So I'm going to ask you this one more time here.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Ask
me anything you want. Ask me anything you want. All right.
You think Jalen Hurts will be the starting quarterback going into 27?
That's 2 years from now, right?
No, that's next season.
Yeah, I mean that's not this season.
This year, and it's starting in September of 27.
That's a hypothetical question.
Is it? Sorry, Your Honor. I didn't mean to leave.
Do I think there's only a 50% chance?
50-50 that he's back.
It's not a slam dunk. Hey, if it was a slam dunk, don't you think they'd give him an extension?
Yo, completely.
Okay. Oh, so if it's a slam dunk, they'd give him an extension. I mean, that's not rocket science. I'm not saying anything that's rocket science.
Who is at fault for allowing this story that you hate to facilitate itself? Do you blame Hurts? Do you blame Nick? Since Nick is your boy and he's supposed to be the godfather of the locker room atmosphere and the culture of the Eagles, I was just wondering, hey, a coach's responsibility, if there's an issue in the locker room, isn't Papa Sirianni supposed to be the guy to go in there and go, hey, boys, let's come over here? Instead, they get rid of Reddick, and now all of a sudden they get rid of AJ. Boy, I'll tell you what, old Nick.
I don't see the head coach in the locker room that much, but in team meetings, I'm sure, in the auditorium when they have the team meeting. So I'm sure he's addressed it. But in today's world, money changes everybody. It's not, football's not the only sport. You know, AJ's making $32 million this coming season? Okay. $32 million. And he's making $32 million whether you like him or you don't like him. It doesn't matter. He's making $32 million. So money is every sport. The money has changed people. They're just not. That's unfortunately the part of sports that's not as much fun anymore, because players they're just not the same. Just having fun. And again, social media's changed that. They're worried about what people were going to say. No, you can only change certain things. AJ was pissed that he didn't get the football when he was open. I don't think he's pissed because he didn't get the football thrown to him every time. I think he was pissed. Matter of fact, I know he was pissed because he didn't get the football when he was wide open.
Guys like you and everyone else say this. I hate the quarterback.
Well, I don't hate the quarterback, but
No. Okay, I'll take that back. I hate the quarterback skill set.
I think he could be better in certain areas. But is it with the team around? Quarterbacks are the focal point. I'm trying to think. Okay, last year, Seattle won, and the quarterback did a really nice job.
Yeah, no turnovers in the postseason.
Do you think they would have won if the running back, who they lost, the running back didn't do as good a job, and their defense didn't do as good a job? Do you think there's other factors in that whole thing? But the quarterback is your focal point, and he's the one that's got to drive the train, so to speak.
They ran the ball well. They didn't turn it over. They made great plays on third down. They were third and short, and their defense gave their offense great field position.
Yeah,
that's the remedy of 24 for the 24 Eagles, right?
Here's what's going to happen. AJ Brown, he can dance up and down and buy rugs and buy T-shirts and buy hats that say Patriots. And
boy, the rug bugs you, doesn't it? The rug bugs you a little bit.
No, it doesn't bug me. It hasn't been there when he told Maria Taylor, it's been there since I came here. That's bullshit. And you know it, and I know it. All right, so that's number one. What do you mean it's been here since you came here? How come nobody's ever said anything about it? Give me a break. But they get the interview with him, so hey, everything's hunky dory. But it's just, there's a you gotta keep it real. As Allen Iverson once said, keep it real for real. And you got to keep it real. No, it doesn't bug me. It's just, it is what it is. The Eagles are not worse. I don't know that we don't know that they're better until they come out there and play.
Angelo said their Super Bowl window's closed. Do you agree?
No, because they still have good players on the team. I think the Phillies, they're locked in to their players. So their window of a championship, I think, is closed because they got between Harper and Turner. Turner, somebody said he's got 7 years left. I thought it was only 6. 7 years left. Harper's got 5 after this. And what are they going to do? What are they going to do? So but their window is closed. The Sixers have no window. It's like they painted it black because they can't see out of a window because it's so dark. That team is so. But I don't think the Eagles' window is closed. But I think they got some work ahead of them because they still have some good young players on that team.
Do you think, a couple more here, Howard, do you think that Jeffrey Lurie gets his new stadium or renovations, whatever it's going to be, do you think they will build him a new dome stadium? And quite frankly, this is what Angelo had a very interesting take, and I wonder if you're down the lane with this. He said this, he goes, Philadelphia doesn't give a shit about Super Bowls or what people do in Seattle. They don't care about anybody but the Eagles. They don't care about any of that other stuff.
I don't think they care about it for the 1 year that they'd have a Super Bowl, but that's what they get at. Every team that builds a new stadium gets a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Minnesota got it, and the weather there that week was just the worst. That's when the Eagles, it was awful. All right. New York was lucky because the snowstorms came like a day or two before
like
the
a
game.
couple days after that thing.
Yeah, right. So, but they're never
Jacksonville. Remember that Jacksonville thing? We're on river boats. You're like, what is?
Yeah, this? Because they didn't have enough housing, right? Enough hotel rooms. Yeah, I remember being there. That was a joke.
That was horrible.
But no, but Jacksonville's a kind of a good weather city. It's not about the game for the NFL. It's about all those corporate people having fun during the week and being in a nice place with a good climate, having fun. And if you got to run the risk of snow or cold weather, a dome stadium, they're not going to get a dome stadium. They're not going to get a dome stadium. They're just, and I don't think where are they going to build the stadium?
I don't know. I mean,
they're not going to build it outside of town.
King of Prussia. They're not going to put it down there.
They're not going to put it in Camden. I mean, boy, can you imagine the crime over there?
Oh my God!
There's just no way. And they can't. Here's the other thing: like the Mets, the Yankees, and other teams build it on the other side of the parking lot, but the arena, which is now the Xfinity Mobile Arena. The Sixers and the Flyers are going to build a new stadium about the time that the Eagles will build a new stadium. So you can't have all that construction going on down there. You just can't do it. So I don't know there's going to be new seat licenses. That's what they want. If they have renovate, this stadium's beautiful. The Lincoln Financial Field's beautiful.
I've been there 8 times. It's really beautiful.
It's all about seat licenses. Yeah. It's all about redoing seat licenses. They don't need a new stadium. They play in a wonderful stadium in a really good area. That's what they have, and they don't need it. And if they build a dome, I don't care. First of all, football should not be played under a dome. They should be played. Yeah, that's what football is. One of the games where I had one of the more fun was when Detroit came in to play the Eagles. LaShawn McCoy, I have the picture, seeing him jumping over people. Detroit had the bus run in the snow. Yeah, the one in the snow. Yeah, where to forecast those brilliant weather people never.
He was the only guy with great footing. Everybody was slipping and falling.
Well, but the thing is, Detroit's a dome team playing in the snow, and they were ready to get out of here at halftime. But it was so much fun watching that game in the snow. That's part of the glamour and the lure and the intrigue of a game. It's just, and that's real home field advantage. A dome team doesn't really have home field advantage. And if you have a dome and you have to play outside somewhere in a cold weather city, you are at a disadvantage.
Yeah. All right, so let me ask you this. I got a question here.
Who was the better 76er? I see that's up on the screen.
Who was the better 76er, Iverson or Embiid?
Not even close. Not even close. AI. Not even close.
Why?
Because he played hard. I don't, I cared at the time that he missed practices and all that, but it didn't matter. He played his ass off.
Do you have a different opinion of Allen Iverson today than you did when you covered him?
No, I kind of realized that he played hard every game, and he played a lot of minutes. Embiid, if he gets to 35 minutes, he's gassed. Hey, Moses Malone, I had Billy Cunningham one. Moses Malone is so much better than Joel Embiid. Why don't you ask me that question? Who's better, Moses Malone or Joel Embiid?
But that's not really a fair question.
Sure, it's a fair question. They both play the same position.
Bro, Malone blows that dude out of the water.
I know. Allen Iverson was a better player, plays hard.
Malone is easily one of the top 6 centers in basketball history.
Probably. Yeah.
I mean, he was dominant in Houston.
Hey, Joel Embiid won an MVP because the writers were tired of voting for Jokic. Jokic was the MVP that year. There's no question. But he'd won it for what, the 2 or 3 previous years? Yeah. Right. Yeah. Something like that. That's why Joel Embiid got the vote to be the MVP. He was not the MVP. Now he had a good year, but he was not the MVP. Nah, it's just it's
hey,
not.
Do you think the Phillies regret giving Harper that 10-year deal?
13-year deal.
13-year deal. And by the way, it's starting to look a little bit like Albert Pujols on the back end of that. Like when Pujols had that front end of it. Remember when he had the front end? He's hitting 43 homers and 320. Now you're starting to see 286 and potentially 28 homers and 78 RBIs. That's not a max deal kind of guy.
They're not disappointed because it created great excitement in Philadelphia. And his first year, he drove in 100 runs. The only time he drove in 100 runs with the Phillies. Only the second time in his career he drove in 100 runs. So at the beginning, it created great excitement, and he was a great player at that time. He's not a great player anymore. He's a good player. He's a good player, but he's not a great player. And he just – did you see the attention? I mean, he craves attention. See the post he put on TikTok when he got up in the morning in San Diego, putting his contacts in, scrubbing his tongue, brushing his teeth, but he does it a different way. Puts the toothpaste on his tongue and then takes the toothpaste off his tongue to brush his teeth. And then he brushes his beard.
Way too much information for me, man, on how you brush your fangs. I mean, really.
It's just, it was like, but why did people say 8 minutes of that nonsense?
I
mean, it's just, so I don't know.
That's why I say Schwarber's the face. I told everyone.
Schwarber's the best guy in the locker room.
Schwarber's the face of Philly right now.
He's the best guy in the locker room. He's the real leader. He's the best guy. He rolls with it. He understands it. He understands people. Yeah, Schwarber's without question the best guy.
So if you were on the air right now in Philly, you'd be going off on everybody for making the AJ Brown story a thing. When you know it's a thing. It's a big deal.
Yeah, but then you get these people, you get them all charged up to one. It's over. You knew it was over 2 months ago.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
There were these believers.
They just didn't know where he was going. Well, you assumed. Hey, listen, Diana Rossini got it all.
Wait a second.
She gave up so much, she got it all.
Wait a second. Wait a second. I text you.
Hey, listen, when you're banging the guy, you're going to get everything you want.
Well, unless you're Hassan Reddick, I'll leave it there. But hey, I'll say, hey, I texted you this 3 months ago, and I told you this thing was 1,000%. He was going to New England because those guys were.
Because her information was, the tampering, all that stuff. Her information was good because of what she gave up. But
Howard, come on.
No. Did you hear any other teams?
Howie.
Did you? Well, no, it
How did
influenced.
that influence Howie making a deal with the Patriots that
Wait a minute.
Vrabel was doing
Who else did he
no
have?
pants dance?
Who else did he have? He used the reason that he wanted to play for Mike Vrabel, who won't be there in a year anyway. They're not going to have a good year. 3 of their first games were on the road. Seattle, the first game, they're going to lose that. 3 of their first games are on the road.
A.J. Brown's going to be on national television the opening night, and he's going to be talking about his love and his profound new. Did you hear what he said, too? He goes, "This is heaven. I know this isn't really heaven, but this feels like heaven. Being in New England right now feels like heaven. I had to call my mom to tell her, Mom, I can't believe it. I'm a Patriot."
Okay, so what? I know. So, what are you going to discuss on the air about AJ Brown? What can you add to AJ Brown? You pissed that he's gone.
The Eagles' offensive passing attack will be.
Well, I mean, you knew he was gone 2 months ago. You knew he was gone 2 months ago.
No, I know. I know that. And to sit there and believe that Sean Mannion, a guy who's never called a play, is going to make this offense turn into a.
Well, that's a story. I mean, and you get these nitwits, these dopes that are tweeting from practice. Oh, Jalen Hurts just threw a touchdown pass. Nobody's really covering anybody. Just threw a touchdown pass to whomever.
Dude, that ESP guy, man, he is really, really wild.
Captain Clickbait, huh?
Oh my God, this guy's like, did you see it today? It was unbelievable. The ball didn't hit the ground. I'm like, where was he catching it from? A Judd gun? I mean, dude, you're in helmets and shorts. I mean, bro, what a storyline.
It's OTAs. I mean, it's just, and even camp, it's just when you play, and then you play against the other team. I haven't heard if the other team's if they're gonna have joint practice yet, but I'm sure that at least once they are, it'll be on the road if they want to go on the road, because the Eagles only play one home preseason game this year.
Howard, may I ask you a personal question?
I guess.
Have you reached out to any of the teams and I don't know if your relationship with some of these teams are great, good, bad. Do you still talk to these teams? Do you still engage with these teams?
Yes.
Do you still have good relations with these teams inside the buildings?
Yes.
Great.
The answer is yes.
That's
because I don't want to let that go. It's just because it's interesting, and they know.
Well, because you built this over 40 years,
and they know that I won't give up anything they don't want to give up. They know that. So if it's off the record, it's off the record. These nonsensical news conferences that the Eagles have every week, because they have to have 4. So the 4th one is off the record news conference.
Bob Lang. Oh, my favorite one is the one now they have these little like pool interviews with a certain group of Eagle beat writers.
Right.
That they tell them this. Don't say anything until Tuesday of next week. And I'm like, wait a second. My obligation is to my viewers, my listeners, my radio show. My obligation is not to the Eagles. My obligation is to people that I work.
I've heard.
What is that?
Well, I've heard these off-the-record news conferences the coach has where everybody, after the news conference, crowds around the podium, and it's off the record. He doesn't say anything anyway.
No.
He doesn't say anything anyway. So, which is, the objective, but you make the guys think like they're getting something. Yeah, because it's an informal news conference.
Your voice still resonates in that city. So it does. You know that.
Well, I knew that.
You know what?
When Daryl Morey got fired, I knew it resonated.
Well, wait. You know why I say everyone? Because this is what a lot of the new guys in your city are trying to do, especially with a guy like you. They're trying to create a new vibe and a new voice, but they can't, because you know why? You're a guy that's why I asked you whether or not you're still plugged into those organizations.
Well, here's part of the problem.
They can't outrun you right now. Howard, as long as you're alive, they're not going to be able to outrun what your takes are going to be on that city. No matter what, you could be talking in the plastic cups with a string, Howard.
Not here nor there. But here's the reality. They're afraid to really say not just what they think, because they just throw out things they think, but they don't have any information behind a lot of the stuff that they say. So they just say it. They don't really have strong opinions on things that need to have strong opinions, or not enough strong opinions. Let's put it that way. They just have opinions on one guy says this, the other guy on that show says this, good cop, bad cop. And let's have different opinions. That's what they discuss before the shows. You take this side, I'll take this side, and let's get these people all stirred up.
How about this? This is where I get some of my stuff from the Eagles. And everyone knows it. I know Clint Hurt very well. He went to the University of Miami.
Who?
Clint Hurt, the D-line coach.
Okay.
And so I go like this, and I know Bobby King from the Chargers. So
Okay.
I'll text these guys. I'll think, da-da-da-da. Now, I don't really give a lot of what they say one-on-one with me, because you know why? They're not gonna tell me anymore, but I'll listen to what they say and I'll form an opinion on that. And it's whether it's I agree with them or not, but I want to hear it from somebody on what's going on inside so I can have an opinion. Throwing random shit out. I mean, any toolbox could do that on any YouTube channel.
Yep.
So what I do is I try to at least talk to somebody that's in the building that's got something to say. And that's why I asked you if you still have contact with the Sixers,
Yes, I do.
the Phillies,
Yeah.
the Eagles, and all them guys.
Yep. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And it's just some of it's so obvious, though. It's just
well, Bob Lang is really awful at what he does, in my opinion.
it's just it's not fair. PR is supposed to help the media, not work against the media. But that's another story. It's just not the same anymore. It's just, it's kind of sad, because you used to have fun. I could say things negative about him, but I'd go in there and I'd talk to the guys that I may have criticized, whether it's a coach or a player. And hey, this is why I said it. If you can tell me that I'm wrong, I'm happy to listen to you. And then if I was wrong, I'll go on the air and say I was wrong. And I've always done that.
Howard, last two ones here. Let me say this. I said the Eagles will go 8-9 this year. You think I'm off my rocker with that? I think they're 8-9.
The over-under is 10.5 or 11.
Okay.
I would take the under. That's what I'll say. I would take, if I'm going to bet, I would take the under on the Eagles, 10.5 or 11. It's just, we'll see what happens. It's just, are the Rams going to lose third straight time to the Eagles? And the Eagles, lucky they get them here. Are the Rams going to lose?
No
so that's going to be a tough game, even though you're playing at home. That's going to be a really tough game. So there's a lot of things. They're not
better, right? That's not a better roster than Seattle.
No, and Howie tried,
and the Rams.
I'm sure Howie tried all different kinds of ways to improve the team with trades, and that's what you do. And then they assign players, and you trade a pick to sign this player. And hey, I would be shocked if he didn't throw out a little bait on Jalen Hurts in this offseason. I would be surprised, because you do it on everybody to see if anybody has any interest. You do it on everybody.
So wait a minute, you think you'll start shopping Jalen Hurts this
No,
offseason?
I think not now. It's too late. But I think, around the draft.
After 26.
Before the draft.
You think he'll start next year?
I think there was already bait thrown out before the draft just to see if anybody had any interest. But they do that with a lot of players. It's not just Jalen Hurts. So I'm not just going to single him out. But that's what you do as a general manager. Say, hey, does anybody have any interest? And to see what
that guy will not have a strong market.
No, apparently he didn't. So
Jalen Hurts will not have a strong market. Hey,
how about this? This first game is Seattle, New England. It's the only game that day. It's on a Wednesday. Now the Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini stuff has to come up again, or those reporters aren't doing a good job. How's the team? And then the PR department steps in and says, you can't ask that question. How's your team responded after all the things?
That question. I mean, is Tirico really going to go down that lane when he's got issues in his own past?
Who's that?
Mike Tirico's got issues in his own past about shit like that. And
no, I'm not talking about the national. I'm talking about national media,
Okay,
not just
okay.
okay. So you say, hey, how it's just you lose. Do you think any of your off-season issues affected the team? And you got to see how the game goes.
How do you it affected it in a good way? You added AJ.
Well, no, they were going to add AJ anyway, but just everybody knew about it.
Well, according to you, those guys doing the no pants dance helped a lot in getting AJ Brown up to New England. I mean,
they didn't help a lot. They just made it public. So
okay.
We all knew about it.
Okay.
We all knew about it. Hey, listen, there's other reporters doing things that, the Mail just, they're not honest
like
to their
I said,
job.
Jay Glazer has a booze party with strippers in Los Angeles, invites the general managers. Hey, you know what? Let me get some information. I'll bring chicks and who's in, and I'll bring the booze in. And
hey, listen, if you
around and have a good time, and you know what? If you want to tell stories about your team,
I don't.
We'll sit here and get loaded.
I don't care about that. But he's not discrediting his job by saying things on the air unless he does.
He doesn't.
That aren't true. No, so I don't think he does. I think Schefter and Rappaport and Pelissero, they do if they get information.
Howard. So of all the teams that Seattle could have, or the NFL could have put with Seattle on that Wednesday, the NFL could have had any team. They could have put the Rams, the Niners. They could have put anybody. And that opener, the National Football League and His Highness Roger Goodell comes in and says, you know what? Let's get the Patriots in there, baby. And let's get the Diana Rossini story going again.
No, I don't think they want that because they're at fault too.
How would you not want to outrun that if you're the NFL?
Yeah, but they're at fault too because they didn't investigate for tampering, and there was tampering going on. They didn't investigate for that. I don't think they did it. It's a Super Bowl rematch. So it's a Super Bowl rematch. That's what it. That's what it is. So
when you say it's when you say it's tampering,
well, Mike Vrabel got information from Diana Rossini, who got it from other people.
What information?
I don't know. I wasn't sleeping in bed with them.
I tell you how I think it worked. I think this went down like this with the Rams. I think she covers the NFL. She's one of the most plugged in, and I say that loosely, reporters that you have in the NFL.
Who's that?
Diana Rossini. I think she was talking to Sean McVay or maybe Les Snead or Kevin Demoff, and they go, hey, I hear that you're working a trade to potentially get A.J. Brown. All of a sudden, they say, yeah, we are. And all of a sudden, Diana Rossini goes, yeah, I heard through the grapevine, through the Patriots, that there's a knee issue. And all of a sudden, the Rams pull out. And the Rams, and I say that
she could have done that too. She could have done that
too. It goes like this. The Rams pull out because there's a report out there about a bad knee. And all of a sudden, you're starting to set the deck for the trade, not to have a lot of market people going in there.
Let me put it this way. If they want to have a relationship, I'll call it a relationship, an affair, relation, whatever you want to call it. That's all well and good, as long as they don't break the rules of what the NFL is, and they come off so proper. She broke the rules of the people she worked for. He broke the rules of the NFL because he got information that he wouldn't have got without her. So I don't care about what they did. I don't care. Yeah. I don't care if that's his baby with her. I don't care.
I care you may have changed the game a little bit on teams, because when you move a player like Garrett and Brown, that's not moving Jalen Reagor or moving anybody. Those are moving game-changing guys, right, Howard?
Here's the people I feel sorry for. I feel sorry for the women that cover sports that do it the right way. I feel bad for them because if I'm a player, and a lot of times you go in the locker room, I've seen it, I've done it. You go up to a player, nobody else is there, and you go up to talk to him, and there's nobody else there, and you kind of one-on-one. It's that player thinking, are people going to think that I'm doing something with this reporter?
Yeah.
If I talk to her with nobody else here, yeah. So I just don't think it's fair to the women. It's not good for the women to do it the right way. And there was the cover up by the networks. ESPN knew what was going on. A lot of these places knew what was going on. I mean, well, whatever. It's just, it's done. It's kind of kind
Yeah,
of a
but
shame that
media people cover for one another.
yeah, I
That's
guess.
going on here. They cover for each other. I mean, listen, they'll sit around and they'll talk shit on what's going on with Jackson Dart and with Abdul Carter and say that this guy shouldn't be around Trump and all that. And then when Diana Rossini is banging a coach and maybe spreading false information, they won't say shit about that. I don't know.
No.
I mean,
You know what? I wondered what she told people when the voting came out for the AP, which she was a voter.
Yeah.
In 24.
All major wards, too.
And she probably told some people that I'm voting for you. I wouldn't be surprised if she told Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson winning the MVP. There's nothing wrong with that. But did she tell Josh Allen, I'm voting for you? And he gave her some information. And then he saw that she voted for Lamar Jackson. So, I think those votes should come out every year and, be totally transparent.
There's $1 million incentives involved.
I know. It's
when
all
you
good.
win a most valuable player award and it's in your contract like that.
Yep.
And you know what I'm saying? You're messing around with people's money. All right, Howard, tell folks how they can find you. By the way, how did the Billy Cunningham interview
It was
go?
great. He was great. He put some, I didn't realize it, but the Knicks starting lineup are all trades. They're all trades.
Hey, you want to hear something about that Spurs lineup? The average age of the San Antonio Spurs is 22 years and 300.
Yeah, they're really good. But
4 years of age. That's wild about the Knicks, though. All trades.
Yeah, and Billy Cunningham brought that up, and I didn't realize. Then you started thinking about it, and then when he mentioned that Moses it wasn't even close.
No,
that Moses is better than MB, but Billy was good.
But hey, here's something else too on this. Do you look at James Dolan differently now after they fired Tom Thibodeau last year? Remember, everyone was like, they fired Tom Thibodeau. They got the Knicks as far as the Eastern Conference Finals, and Dolan went in there, parachuted in, and blew out that guy. And Dolan's considered the worst owner in professional sports, next to Ross in Haslam in Cleveland.
Well, next to Josh Harris.
He puts Mike Brown
next
in
to Josh Harris.
Or Josh Harris. And then he turns around, he puts Mike Brown in there. Now they're in the finals with a shot to win the NBA championship. I mean, hey, you in hindsight,
the people that put that team together, Leon Rose and Worldwide
West put that thing together.
Yeah.
I know Worldwide West. I know him. Check this out. So when I was at the University of Miami, this guy was selling sneakers out of a back of a BMW. And he was a friend of mine from a guy from Philly named Brad Vespi, whose old man owned a construction company.
Brad played for Miami, I know.
Right, and I got Brad on the team because Brad was a walk-on.
And I'm going to give you one.
He goes like this. Sills, me and Stubbs got him on the team. This is how we did it. He came and Stubbs goes, Sills, let's talk to Jimmy. And I go, we don't have size 9-foot shoes for guys, and I love Brad Vespi. I love him to death. His old man was in the dink for something too. I forget, for tax evasion or something, but I love the family. And so I said, let's put him on. So Jimmy put him on. He put him on special teams and all. He was a really cool kid. We really liked him. And so he goes, Sills, I want you to meet someone. And I go, okay. He goes, this is Worldwide West. I didn't think shit of it. And all of a sudden, years later, he's an agent at CAA. He's repping LeBron. And all of a sudden now he's the president of operations for the New York Knicks. And I'm like, I sent him a text 2 weeks ago and I'm like, Wes, you got any tickets for me? He goes, are you crazy? I don't have any tickets right now.
Well, I'm going to give you one better. I used to do a remote right next to the sneaker store that he worked in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. He was selling sneakers out the back door when Reebok was so hot you couldn't get them. He was selling sneakers out the back door. I knew Wes when he was a kid, like 16, 17 years old.
Yeah, he used to come down to Miami because Vespi would bring his ass down there. And I think the old man had something to do with the mob or something. I don't know. Anyway, so the guy was like, hey, this is Worldwide West. Sills, you need anything?
Well, he got Leon Rose some players when he was an agent.
That's exactly right.
He was connected. Even Barkley asked me one time, what does that guy do? I said, he's the most, one of the magazines, I forget which one it was, Gentleman Quarterly or whatever, did a story on Wes. And they asked me about him. And I said, how is he so well connected? I said, I don't have the first clue, but he's more well-connected than anybody.
Dude, LeBron loves that guy.
I know. And
I
Michael
mean,
Jordan,
those
he
guys
had,
go back. Michael Jordan, Barkley, all them guys. And I can't tell you. I'm like, Wes, you're an agent now for CAA?
yeah.
And he's like, and they made him an agent because he had all these connections.
Well, he
And
had
then
coach
Maverick
connections and
And then
player
Maverick
connections.
Carter and all them guys got together, and before you knew it, hey,
He had
Howard,
coach and player connections. He had.
Howard, tell these people don't realize how connected that guy really was.
Oh yeah, well, I realize it. Yeah, but and they've done a really good job. So anyway, Wes and Leon have done a great job. By the way, tomorrow night I'm going to do something. Today's Tuesday. Wednesday night on the show, I'm going to do something a little bit different with my guest. A woman named Chrissy Freud. I don't know if you know the name. She got fired by USA Today. She was a football reporter. Got fired because she put out a tweet about Diana Rossini that it was wrong what she did. And she's been on certain media sites saying she's going to start naming names. She knows people that were connected in the NFL with women. And I don't know if she's going to do it with me. And I don't know if she's going to, and I won't push her on it. She has a time and a place, but she's kind of held her head up high.
Receipts here, right?
What's that?
She's got receipts now. She's gonna maybe pull out some of these.
Yeah, but I feel bad because she did it the right way.
She did that was such a stupid way to fire her. She made a comment she talked and she says, "Hey, this is what you reap what you sow," kind of in a way.
Well, but there's probably reporters from the USA Today that knew it was going on, and they were just trying to protect them. But she seemed like a very interesting person.
But why would USA Today do that when Rossini worked for the New York Times?
I don't know, but I'll get her. How it's affected women covering sports.
Oh, absolutely.
What she knows about other people, and it's just there's so much of a cover up that was going on.
Okay,
beyond
AJ Brown's a shit story. All right. Hey, we got a little TMZ going on Wednesday.
Who cares about AJ Brown?
On Howard Eskin's show, we got a little TMZ going there too. That's all right, right?
Hey, whatever she says, and I respect her for I respect her for the job that she's done, and she's willing to, put some things out there, and it's just we'll see what happens.
She says, I'm not really going to pass her on anything, but when she says something TMZ-ish, we're good. I don't care. I'm sick and tired of the AJ Brown bullshit, but hey, we're all right. What do you got going on Saturday?
Saturday, I'm going to talk about every player on the Eagles, and that doesn't include AJ Brown.
Wait, you're going to talk about Keely Ringo? I can't wait to hear that one.
Yeah.
Howard, I'll tell you what, man, you are definitely somebody that is spectacular to get on. You're a great, great radio guy. You're a great broadcaster too, and I appreciate you coming on all the time. And believe me, every time I get you on, you move the needle, man. You're a needle mover because you know why? You're not only a needle mover, you're a needle poker. Like you just kind of jab it into people, man. You're just, there's nothing. I don't really think there's anything smooth. You're either this. It's scoreboard, bitch. There's nothing great. You're like my grandpa in a way. There's no gray area. You're either this or that. There's a right and a wrong. And to me, that's how you should do it, right?
Got to keep it real. You got to keep it real.
Absolutely. We will see you soon. Thank you so much, my friend.
All right. Have a great night and a great day tomorrow.
That is our friend. That is Howard Eskin. Absolutely. I love talking with Howard. He's so good, man. Let me pay some bills here. My great friends at Morgan & Morgan, the number one injury law firm in all of America for a reason. And it is because they win. With over $20 billion recovered, there's a reason they're the number one injury law firm in America. Again, they defend families like yours. Folks, the family in Pennsylvania here that was initially offered $650,000, they got nearly $30 million in settlement. Or the family down in Florida who was offered $350K, they got nearly $12 million in settlement. Do me a favor, go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/Big Sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
There's a reason the Karate Master was the #1 salesman in the lumber department.
Karate.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
AJ and Hassan Reddick. Who gives a shit? Can't be any more stupider than to think that is such a big deal. Who gives a shit? Who's banging who? Really? Ugh. You'll do anything to tar and feather, like I said you would, AJ Brown out the door. He's slow. He drops. He's not good. He's not engaged. He cheats on his wife. Every single thing. It's so out of the Eagle fan playbook. It's every single thing that you would hope for if you were a disgruntled fan that you lost a great player on display right now. And it's sad. It's actually sad watching it. It's sad that you go down that lane, that even A.J. Brown, who delivered the best era of football in the history of your football team, that you would go down that lane with this guy. It's unbecoming. But hey, it's standard for lowbrow thinking people. Okay, wait a minute. You're so over it? Well, get used to it all year. If that offense shits the bed, Sue, and that offense doesn't go where you think and everyone in here thinks it's going to go, that story will be brought up every week this coming season if your offense shits the bed and can't move. It will be brought up every week how many yards he brings the Patriots offense. By the way, relax. Don't bring dumb questions up. It does tell me he has horrible character, though, Sills. Really? Based on what? By you, Crowley? I haven't heard one thing that a football player that played with him or was in that locker room said one fucking thing about him. I haven't heard one person say one negative thing about A.J. Brown, and Crowley's coming up with this made-up bullshit about his character. Hey, who told you this, Crowley? Did you hear it in a fucking seance? Let me guess. You heard it in a seance. Seals can be saying, I miss AJ at the end of the season. Seals, again, the offense couldn't have been any worse. Dude, you're right. The offense couldn't have been any worse. Now you're going to do that shit without AJ. Now you're going to be better or worse? You're going to be worse. They couldn't dare block the historian on the Mark channel. They recognize the historian carries the channel. Mark's on tomorrow, by the way. AJ is a child. Hassan is a child. Even you can admit that. Who fucking cares? So what? Bro, what did you not get when you read his draft profile and what kind of human he was? You're the only ones in here that are surprised. Seals, if you think AJ is going to still be a 1,500 yard, okay. Well, we'll see who's right. I think he's going to get north of 1,500 yards. And you guys are down here telling me you think Devontae Smith's going to replace he's going to replace AJ. Well, we'll see. And that Mekhi Lemon's going to go for 90 catches and 900 yards. In what world? With that quarterback. Okay. Seals, if Cam and Landon have bounce back years, your prediction will be shit. If not, you'll be right. Yes. That's called having a take. Can we stop with AJ talk? Thanks for all he did, bud. Good riddance. The AJ talk is going to go all year because of what you now don't have on your offense. You got, what do you mean can the talk go? Bro, you let loose of a great football player. You guys think he sucks. Well, we'll see how good you are in the passing game when you've blown for 5 years in the passing game. Okay. Says, I love how you cherry pick quotes. Does your dumbass know how to read full sentences? Eat a dick, guy. We don't know what's going to happen yet. All speculation. It's called having an opinion. So I'm not mad at you too, by the way. Don't take that as it is because love you being in here. It's all good. He didn't suck when he was winning games. Oh, he was winning games. Lane, 18 of 27 were not playing. If he's back, they win. The Sirianni era is defined by 100-yard running backs. Let's see here. It's like the Browns releasing Garrett. Browns didn't release him. They traded him. Sills, don't agree with these guys. Let's just sit back and enjoy the shit show as it happens. Woo, woo. Oh, hey, my friend. This is going to be one of the finest years I have ever in my life covered sports. This is going to be so much fun. I mean, oh my God. Hey, by the way, can I ask a normal question, honestly, without any hyperbole or for any sarcastic stuff. I missed your super chat, huh, Kim? Let me see here. Let me go back. Let me see here. Let me go back. Super chats, we appreciate you guys very much. So let me go back here. Okay. And I got a question to you about Mr. Hurts going into two. By the way, Jeff McClain put out a great comment about Jalen Hurts and about him going into the 26th season. Let's see if I can find that, Kim. Is that it? Here we go. Garrett is overshadowing AJ because he's generational. Yes. Yes. Hey, Kim, I think you're the one to ask this. Since you're an aspiring broadcaster. So, question for you, Kim. Let's see if you can answer this here. So we all agree that the Eagles are dramatically changing the offense. Is this correct? They're changing the entire offense when it comes to passing the football, right? Mulata's saying it, Jalen saying it, Devontae saying it, everyone's saying it, right? Okay. Rasputin, wouldn't it make sense if you're changing the offense and you want it to look like something, say, in 2 years? Why wouldn't you extend a quarterback now to create stability for future free agents to want to come in over the next couple years and give them an extension today? Why not? If you want this offense to get better, be more passing, you want to change it completely, why wouldn't you give the quarterback a 3-year contract extension now to create stability for potential free agents to want to come and play? Why is this a 1-year thing? I mean, the reason to extend is because you want to build continuity over the next 3 years. Why wouldn't you want to do that? If you give the quarterback a contract extension now, he's got very little money next year on the books for the Eagles. Why not extend him now? If you're comfortable with the quarterback, why not go and say, here's 3 more years. We want Jalen Hurts to be the architect of what we're going to do over the next 3 years with Sean Mannion's offense and all the changes. Why not? So wait a minute. They want Hurts to prove it when they're changing everything. What happens if he can't do it? They're going to go back to doing something else? Because Cole Payton. Sills, the writing is on the wall and in front of everyone's face, but these delusional Jalenites are in serious denial. Correct. Just made a good old-fashioned. If he can't do it, then he might not be an Eagle in 27, 28. Okay. That I agree with. Correct. Yes. Because they're moving off the quarterback loud and clear sells to me anyway. They are obviously, whether Jalen can excel this season, Hurts has made damn near $200 million already. He's not sweating a bag. He wants rings, Dan. Yeah, that's right. And that's why they're asking and changing everything, is because they're comfortable with the way he's doing it. How pathetic. And by the way, some of the folks that like, I mean, I'm not wasting my time on some people that come to the show daily. I'm just not wasting my time. If now the Rams are the team to beat, how does he fit in Shula's scheme? Is he a good coordinator, or does Schwartz have the best scheme for Garrett? Dude, when you got a player like Myles Garrett, you look on film what that guy does best. Okay? Best. This is always a classic. The chat owns me and you're here every day and I don't go anywhere. Yeah. Make that make sense. I'm going to hit the carton dance when Hurts is seeing ghosts. Nick's playbook finally got trashed. That's been the problem, Dan. I'm assuming, Dan. Let's see, Kimbo. I don't think realistically Jalen Hurts will be here after next season. That's my take. That's my take, wearing that on my chest. All right. Something tells me Verse doesn't feel like he's in heaven. How could he feel like he's in heaven? He's in Cleveland. Smitty, Goddard, Barkley, Tank, Wicks, Hollywood, Moore, Lemon, Stowers. That's a nice collective offensive talent. Some proven, some not. Those are dudes and an unproven guy. And one guy you have. A collection of talent at wide receivers to code for wide receiver. Our core is going to suck. Why isn't nobody looking at it from this standpoint? Kansas City, Tyreek Hill dilemma. Did the Chiefs get better? Why can't the Eagles? There you go. That's a great take. Josh Allen, they pulled Stephon Diggs from him. He won the MVP award. Tyreek Hill got taken off the Kansas City Chiefs, and they won 2 Super Bowls. Let's see what Hurts can do without A.J. Brown. Great take, Andre. And I 1,000% agree with you. When was the last time you've been to Philly, Dan? I think it was 2 years ago I was in there. There's a chance I'm going for Army Navy this. I don't think it's this year in I don't think it's this year in Philly. Where's Army Navy this year? I got a call from somebody from the American Conference that asked me about Army Navy. Where's Army Navy in 2026? Where is that? It might be in Baltimore. Where is Army Navy? Army Navy game 2026. It's at MetLife. December 12th. Love it. The only thing for Verse is he can fatten his wallet. He has leverage. Oh, he's going to make a shitload of money, man. By the way, Jared Verse is a better football player than Jalen Carter. When you have Garrett's scheme, doesn't matter. When you have Garrett, scheme doesn't matter. He's generational. He can play in any scheme. Absolutely true. But Purdy Boy can't beat Mahomes. And you can't beat Herbert. KC won without Hill. Will definitely win without AJ. There you have it. Chris Forrester already viewing Garrett film. I love Chris Forrester. I told you this before. I think he's one of the best offensive line coaches in pro football. I love the guy. He has, without a doubt, a great eye for talent. Yeah, they can't beat Herbert. Herbert had a broken hand and 2 OTs down. They still won. Hurts did not beat Mahomes. The team beat the Chiefs. Don't say that. And then you start getting all kinds of crazy comments made by people. Hurts beat them and all this shit and all that. KC has Mahomes. We have Hurts. Not much of a comparison. There's no comparison. Guys, the Rams are giving up their future with a hope and dream of winning a Super Bowl. This is what this guy doesn't get. Hey, Sean, in the last 11 years, the Rams have had 3 first-round picks in 11 years. They don't give a shit about those picks, and they still win. I mean, giving up their future, they don't look at those draft picks. They look at players more so than when they go and trade for Matthew Stafford, or they trade for Myles Garrett, or they trade for Trent McDuffie. You can keep those first-round picks, dude. Nobody gives a shit about those first-round picks when you got 3 great football all-pros. Look at the trades that the Rams have made. The Rams went and got Matthew Stafford. They won a Super Bowl and an MVP award with him. They traded for the reigning defensive player of the year. They got an all-pro first-team corner in Trent McDuffie. And you want to talk to me about some fucking first-round pick in the 20s that you think is going to matter? Give me a break. Seals, you think Donald comes out of retirement? I'd do everything in my power to try to get his ass out. That's right. The Rams invest in proven guys. That's the one difference between the Rams and the Eagles. You got Jonathan Grenard and Tariq Woolen. They got Trent McDuffie and Myles Garrett. You make your own assessment of that. All right. My great friends at Morgan & Morgan, the number 1 injury law firm in all of America, for a reason, and it is because they win. This will be the easiest decision you've ever made in your life when it comes to picking a law firm like this. There's no company in the country like it. Go forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
are getting a divorce? Mm-hmm. Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
had work done on her face? Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
Bathroom? Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand.
Thank you.
We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years, and that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
It's going to be a great year this year. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Do me a favor, hit that like button. 2 to 6 tomorrow. We'll see you on the flip side.